It's me. All right, let's do it then. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Group Up Podcast. We are here for another Marvel Rivals edition, the State of Marvel Rivals debate. I brought the GOATs with me, the Rival Squad, to discuss all things Marvel Rivals, the state of it, the heroes of it. Is engagement-based matchmaking real? We will answer all these questions and more. So let me introduce my homies and the guests who need no introduction. In the bottom right, looking a little bit pensive right now, is Boger. Boger, what's on your mind?
I was putting the names, and I put my name as Cyber Ranger Reply Guy.
You did not. I put that as your name too.
It's
Oh,
just it just
man.
makes sense. It just makes sense, no?
Yeah.
We've got to push this until it becomes the second thing that Google says.
Oh no,
Boger
no, no,
Overwatch.
no. Listen, NetEase employees told me that every time I reply to Cyber Angel, they all talk about it. Like I was told by them. They said every time you tweet about Cyber Angel, we're all go like, oh, but we're tweet about Cyber Angel. I was like, so yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's good. It's their office drama. It's how they bond. They share
Yep,
gossip
that's
about
true.
you.
That's the water cooler talk. Did you see the new Boger tweet?
You see what he tried today? You see how horny he was today?
He told Rainho to have his children.
So scandalous.
Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Scandalous.
Well, in the bottom left, Flats, what are your thoughts on Boger, the reply guy, as you come into this podcast?
I don't know. Apparently that guy's terrible now. I mean, I was talking the other day where you were talking about EOMM stuff and all the replies and comments. It was like someone who took a clip from you, obviously. It was like, wow, I used to like that guy. That guy was great until Necro's got his claws in him and changed him. And so
Yes,
congrats,
that's what
dude. Welcome
happened.
to the dark side.
As you all know, I always believed in EOMM, but since China, I don't believe in it anymore for various reasons, guys. For various reasons. Just changed my mind. Different person.
With a giant stack of dollars that just flew in your face. They were just like, here, shut the fuck up about EOMM.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Not a bad idea.
Honestly, I would get me to shut up about many things, but we'll see how that goes. In the top left, sporting her lovely pink hair, is Aramori. Aramori, how you doing?
Good. I'm chilling. I said before we started, but I am extremely jet lagged. So hello everybody. I'm awake
Ni
before
hao.
noon now. Ni hao.
That's good.
Wow. Ni hao. Wow. Well, I appreciate you waking up, and especially all the way from China. That is quite the trip. How was the experience?
Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, I think I said at one point one of my dreams was to be able to play on stage, and I finally got to do that. So it was really cool. Really cool. I hope we're gonna have lots more lands. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it is very cool. We'll talk about the competitive scene as a portion of this, but it was really cool. And being a little bit real as your friend, it was really cool seeing you up there, and there were so many people who were cheering for you that it was very wholesome to see that moment when you stepped on stage. There was a lot of Aramori fans, and if Aramori has only one fan, I am one of them, as the meme would say. All right, well,
Awesome.
gamers, we're gonna discuss everything to do with Marvel Rivals, but as we always begin, I'm gonna get your overall thoughts. So Flats knows because we did a State of Overwatch debate recently, so he kind of can probably guess what question I'm gonna ask. But on a scale of 1 to 10, guys, I'm gonna ask you to tell me where you rate the state of Marvel Rivals right now. 1 is like, this is as dog shit a job as the devs could possibly have been doing. They're bungling what otherwise would have been a great game. Terrible shit. Number 10 is, this is as good a job as the devs could possibly have been doing. They are the greatest devs. That's a cute sticker, Armory. They are the greatest devs. Boger's got one of his own. Damn, Paid Shields right here. Paid Shield podcast. Before the comments, I'm already telling you, Paid Shield podcast. So yeah, 10 is as good as it could be. 10 is as realistically good as it could be. So I'm going to take it. I'll take it to Flats first because the others get some little bit of time to think. Flats, you've done this before. 1 to 10. You rated Overwatch just for reference. You rated Overwatch at 8.5, if I remember correctly. That's how you're rating where the team is at, how the development of it is at. Where do you rate Marvel Rivals?
So before last week, I probably would have said about 8.5 for Rivals as well, but I'm actually going to go about 7.5. And the reason for that is I think that they've made a massive blunder with the whole EOMM discussion that they're going to have next week, because no matter what they do, no matter what the answer is, they're going to make someone mad. If they tell everyone skill issue, the Redditor frogs are gonna riot through the streets. If they say they're going to improve their matchmaking, no, you're not. And it's not because like I don't believe they can. It's because no, matchmaking is never perfect, no matter what the game is. There's always issues with matchmaking. There is no perfect system, and there always is issues. So then you create that narrative of, oh, you made us a promise and you broke that promise. We've all been there, by the way. We know what that looks like. Or you kick the can down the road just further, being like, oh, we'll work on it, and then don't say anything and just hope that it kind of goes away in a few months and then it'll come back later. But there is no good answer, and I think that's a unfortunate mistake because they're trying to be transparent and trying to be like communicative, but there's like certain things I think that you don't give attention to, and that might have been one of them. That said, like gameplay balance wise, I think in a lot of ways feels pretty good, other than obviously the big annoying Loki Luna stuff that's just been around for forever. But I also think just people are like so used to it now. Like the casual player is like, they like the healing. I feel like most casual support players enjoy the healing aspect, but like supports could probably be better. But the other issue is like, we just need more of like those heroes. And it obviously there was a bit of an interview that went out this week, which I don't know if you got to see. But like their content's all basically planned for the next year already, and there's no change. Like they can't do like what Overwatch sometimes used to do, where like you can like rearrange the like when a hero comes out, kind of how like they did with like Ramatra at one point. They can't do that because they're doing a hero every month. So I don't know what that ends up looking like, but like they basically like, yeah, we understand you want more tanks and supports and we have too many DPS, but we kind of have everything planned already. So if it's not actually what people want in this next year, they're going to start raging and they can't fix it. Like they're so deadline crunched that no matter what anyone complains about or anyone wants changes, other than maybe balance stuff, we are locked in for the next year. And that's the handcuffs that they put themselves on. And like, that's great for content, but obviously that's going to cause some issues. That's why I got to give it a 7.5.
That is very, very interesting. We'll elaborate more on a lot of the touch points you gave there, Flats, but I'm going to let the others give me their rating first. So, Aramori, you've seen Flats give was it 7 that you finished it on, Flats? 7, right?
7.5.
Or 7.5. 7.5. So 7.5 from Flats. Where do you land?
I honestly think that one of my main issues with Overwatch when I was playing was the lack of like new content, which I know has changed since like I don't know, the past like 6, 7 months, right? Like they've definitely kind of up that, and I haven't played since then, so maybe it's really unfair for me to say, but at the time I was playing Overwatch, that was like one of my biggest gripes. It's like, oh my god, we've been on this patch for 4 months, I'm stuck playing the same thing, Kiri Lucio Reaper, like get me off this patch, I'm so over it, right? That is just not a thing in Rivals, right? Because like you said, every single month is a new hero, which makes it really hard as a competitive player, like a pro player, but also really nice as like a casual player. There's always something fresh, there's always something to grind for. It's always changing, right? Even like the team ups and stuff, they just change drastically in the middle of the season, right? Like 3.5. So I think that is super, super healthy for the game. They're not afraid to just be like, okay, this Adam Warlock team up, people hate it. Let's just get rid of it. It's gone. It's done. Like it was in the game for about a year, right? Because of beta and alpha and all that. And then they just cut it completely. So I think honestly the game is in a really, really healthy state. I think honestly I would give it probably like an 8.5 just because I think people are, and I don't think this will ever change because it's a competitive game, but people are so angry. People are just so angry and ranked all the time and so grumpy. And I don't know if there's really anything any competitive game can do about that, but it definitely kind of bleeds through. People are just angry. Um, but yeah, the Luna Loki stuff. It's actually funny. You brought up the Luna Loki tranks being forever. And I was watching an Overwatch clip and I saw Zen trance and I was watching it and then the trance ended and I was like, it was so short. That trank, how do you do anything with that trank? I've been so brainwashed by Marvel Rivals. But yeah, I think the game is in a really solid state. Like you said, they have a year of patches planned already, which makes me so happy. Yeah, 8.5. I think we're in a really good spot right now.
Interesting. I think already it's great. We're seeing kind of differing POVs that you guys are bringing, right? It's like Armor, you're kind of like locked in on Marvel Rivals. and you've come from your experience and your background in Overwatch, where it was like you were dedicated to Overwatch for a long time, and then
Yeah.
you just got frustrated and sick of it, right? Whereas Flats is a bit more. He's a fluid figure. He's kind of like hop in here, hop in there, and he's kind of seeing each of the merits of each.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see where Boger lands on the trio. So Boger, what
A
is your rating?
solid 7 or 6.5.
Okay.
The
Purely
lowest.
Okay.
because I am bored out of my mind. Not because there's no new content, but it's just Emma, Mag, Luna, Loki, and I can't take it anymore. And I'm so tired. It's just so exhausting. I can't.
Hey, Emma's not
Like,
banned in your game every game. Every game I play, Emma's banned.
But yeah, but then if you ban Emma, you have to play against 10 other. It's just an open Pandora's box, you know. Like it's just like it's such a weird state to be in the game right now. But like Luna Loki, I'm just tired of hearing Luna Ode, like genuinely. I'm tired of Emma. I'm so exhausted of Emma. I like the character design. I'm just exhausted of Emma, and it's just been the same stuff. Like they keep releasing new characters, but it's just been the same thing over and over again, purely because they don't release Tank and Sports, and I know they can't release Tank and Sports because they planned it in advance. But why they plan 60 million DPS characters in advance? Like, did they not think about like? Anyway, that's just the exhausting part, right? So a little bit of burnout in that sense, because you always have to play Mag and you always have to play Emma if they're open in ranked most of the time, and then it's just annoying, right? So I think the game balance wise is fine because you can play a lot of stuff we saw in the Ignite tournament, and I like the ban system, but like just the overall experience is just so just tiring right now. Like with the same thing, I if I hear Luna Oot one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm not ready to put. I'm not ready for a show. I'm just not ready.
Okay, so again, very very interesting. I think again perhaps emblematic as well of like how much you play the game as well, Boga, right? Like you're grinding and you're just seeing the same thing over and over and over. So it's just great perspective, honestly. Like Aramori kind of feels quite fresh. Maybe just after years of being trapped in the world of Overwatch, you're actually like Rivals feels very fresh.
Yeah. I actually was mentioning to my stream, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I think maybe the reason why I honestly get like the Loki Luna frustration. It is really annoying, but I'm not as like upset about it because they're always banned in scrims and pro play, like at least one of them,
Yeah.
right? So to me, it's like when I play ranked, it's like, oh, okay, Loki Luna, whatever, and then I go and play scrims for 6 hours and I don't deal with that at all. So it's like a completely different like perspective, which was really interesting.
Would you say just to quickly follow up on that, Aramori, like would you say then the pro meta either the metas are less boring or they're less stale, like they rotate more often compared to ranked?
Way less stale. Like you get way more bans, like it's 4 bans per each team, right? And then it just changes. Every game can be completely different, I think. And then you definitely saw that in like Ignite. People are playing completely different things depending on map or bans or whatever. So you have to be extremely adaptable, and also just yeah, it doesn't get stale at all. Definitely not.
Okay, well, that's very good to hear. Okay, so we've already earmarked quite a few things. We'll go through each of them. We'll go through balance and just kind of the general feeling of playing ranked. We'll go through the pro stuff. We'll go through just like the devs and the hero releases and the plans. But I do think first we'll start with the topic the Flats broached that maybe is the most controversial topic, and we like to front load these. We like to go in heavy and hot, which is the engagement optimized matchmaking, EOMM, which, to put some context, is kind of a thing that most gamers complain about in some form about every ranked game they play, right? Like every ranked game you see, some form of like the matchmaking is rigged in a way that is ruining my experience is a really common sentiment. Now, what exactly that is varies. Some people argue that elo hell exists, that the game is kind of keeping them trapped in a rank they shouldn't be, and they're better than where they are. Engagement optimized matchmaking is this whole can of worms that the game is sort of choosing when it gives me good games and bad games in order to try and most keep me playing the game and buying skins and all this stuff. So Flats, maybe you want to summarize what the sentiment you felt might have been, what the devs are actually like. What's the sentiment they're responding to? Why did they come out and talk about engagement optimized matchmaking? And then do you want to elaborate on the sentiment that you conveyed earlier, that you think this was a big blunder to address the elephant in the room?
There is no EOM in Bossing Say. I don't know what you're talking about. That
Plus
being
200
said,
social credit score.
yeah. That said, okay, so for basically what it is, or what has been described it as, is there was a conspiracy that started in season 0. I'm gonna say conspiracy because that's what it was at the time, where like people were like, oh my god, this is a real thing. Everyone's like, stop talking, like leave it alone, it's fine, it's whatever. But as time has marched on, it's gone on more. There's like an interview with an executive that like points out how they use matchmaking, and that they reference EOM at roughly vaguely reference it, and they've used that as a way to catapult the conversation for further as a talking point for people to latch onto. And what people have started to notice is that they go on large win streaks and losing streaks. And those win streaks and losing streaks sometimes feel, quote, forced, right? Or you have like games where you literally couldn't lose if you tried, and games that you couldn't win no matter what happens, right? And you just see these random clips of people like, I think I saw Bogers yesterday of like a cloak and dagger shooting at the ceiling. Meanwhile, the guy who posted it like was on Groot, and he's walking into the point holding walls 1v6 like this. And he's still holding it, just walking in, and he explodes, and then it cuts to the cloak and dagger shooting at the ceiling, trying to bounce shots down, blaming the cloak and dagger. I'm like, okay, yeah, don't get me wrong, that's fucking stupid. Well, what the fuck were you doing? You know, and it's like half the time the demons, they're you! You're the demon! Sorry. And so basically, like, what's happened over time is everybody's trying to figure out why they go on these big losing and win streaks, and are blaming EOMM for it, and blaming matchmaking. And there's a lot of talks around placement matches. There's talks about skill-based matchmaking, and people feel like their games don't feel like they're in their own control. But I have my own theory of it. My own theory of it is that most of the people that complain about EOMM are the Season 0, Season 1, Season 1.5, maybe even Season 2.0 GM and Celestial players. No offense, you were boosted as fuck. The system it literally inflated you for playing more often. After they kind of reworked the way it worked, you did not get nearly as much benefit for playing more often. And a lot of times, actually, if you were the absolute anchor on your team, you got less points because of the individual point changes, right? Like there was a point where if you were playing like support, you got like way less points, and everyone was complaining about like the new system. They kind of fixed that, so it's much more fair now. Still can happen though, but regardless, you don't just free climb for queuing 9,000 games. And so all the people that were, I was GM for 2 seasons, why am I stuck in plat? EOMM! And then like they send, I've looked at like 10 or 15 profiles in the last week. And every time I'm like, brother, you're the fucking demon. You go like 2 or 3 games, you pop off. And then for some reason you decide I'm going to play Hela next game. And I'm like, brother, you play fucking Strange, Venom, and Luna. Why the hell are you on Hela? You're 6 and 12. And it's like, brother, you got activated. You're the activated demon. And so it's just like, it's literally psychology, where if you point something out to someone, they'll notice it more. And so basically, like, the analogy I use is like, you say to someone like, wow, there's a lot of blue cars around these days. Like, people must be buying blue cars. And so the next couple of days you start taking notice. You're like, wow, there's a lot more blue cars on the road. Like, is everyone buying blue cars? It's like, no, you just notice it more. And we had this in Overwatch, 50-50 Overwatch, because someone discovered a patent at the time for Overwatch in which the system was so well designed that it would, if you were in the correct rank, meaning you were placed in the right spot, you would win 50% of your games and you would lose 50% of your games because you're in the correct ranking. People took that as forced 50-50 and ran with it and memed it for years. But like the problem with the memeing of it is like people also believed it's real. And like that's not on the people who have meme it. That's on the people that can't understand the fucking meme. Like you can't pick up on social cues. I'm sorry. Like we none of us, we can't help you, right? And so we're stuck in this problem now where they're gonna address it next week. And I'm so fucking excited to see what they say. Cause like they've impressed me in a lot of ways with like the way they've handled a lot of questions and community sentiments. Cause like I played Overwatch for years. I've watched companies fucking crash and burn left and right and think they're fucking right and they're dumb as rocks. But they've actually done a really good job. So I have hope for them, but I just don't see a way out. Like I don't even know how they're gonna win. So basically the long and the short of it is People notice their win streaks and losing streaks. They think they should be higher ranked than they are. And a lot of people also took a big break in Season 2 because a lot of people didn't like Season 2. So they came back from 1.5 into start of 2, came back for Season 3, and they haven't realized the game has gotten so much harder. We learned this with Twitch Rivals. Twitch Rivals, all the streamers who came back that were GM Celestial, Season 0, Season 1.0, came back and played in Twitch Rivals against the new Celestial players and the actual players who never stopped playing and got fucking decimated. And I don't think any of them picked up the game since. Except like, maybe like Fan, I think. Like no one else, everyone's like, I'm good. Because they don't want to get shit on. It sucks. Like I wouldn't want to get shit on either. But I think that's a good translation to a lot of more casual players where they think they're going to be as good as they were in Season 1, Season 0. They're not, and they blame the system. And then also there's like some matchmaking changes, like being able to play with friends and all that stuff, but that's a different topic.
Well, thank you. That was a very, very thorough summary. And now I'm going to put Boger in an awkward position because I'm going to say, Boger, I know I assume you don't believe in EOMM. But I want you to give me your best defense of why it could be real. Like, what is the argument from the EOMM believers that you think there could be even a shred of truth to their argument?
You know, like back in the day when I was growing up, everybody kept talking about the Matrix and how we were all in the Matrix. The same talk. They just keep pointing at random shit. It's like, oh, it's all connected. It's all connected. It's like, this guy, he's in a losing streak, and the system put him in my game because I won too many games. And it's like it's all. And then I lost 3, and then I won 3, and then oh my god, it makes sense. It's always I can't even defend it. I just don't believe in it. Like I just genuinely just don't believe in it. It was the same thing in Overwatch, as Flat said. It's the same thing in the Rivals. Nobody's holding you back. Like it is such an inherently stupid argument. Like I'll be honest, people just look at things to blame. Every time I lose a game, very rarely do I look at the game and I say, damn, I played perfectly. There's so many minute things I could have done to play better. Like, and yes, you have bad games. You can't always win a game in a team-based game purely because it's a team-based game, so you have too many creatures on your team, and like it's going to be impossible. So people just expect that they are going to be put in a game and then they're going to win every game and they have to put in minimal effort. It just doesn't work that way. Like the thing about EOMM is that people just like as Flat said, like if you actually watch the replay of most of these people that complain about EMM, it's actually horrifying what they do. Like, it is genuinely just horrifying what they do. And, like, it's just painful to hear people complain. And it's genuinely so painful to hear content creators sit there and yap about EOMM, because then all the fucking casuals just latch onto it. Maybe there's EOMM. Maybe there isn't EOMM. But why don't we just play the game for fun, bro? Like nobody's actually trying to improve. Everybody's giving up at the drop of the hat. Nobody's trying to get better. Nobody's trying to do anything. Like I dare for anyone to pick any competitive game that has perfect matchmaking. It's just not gonna happen. Like people. Also, another thing about EOMM is that people don't know what the fuck they're saying about EOMM. What is EOMM? You ask 5 people, everybody's gonna say something else, right? So, also, a lot of people quote a fucking research paper about EOMM. Nobody has fucking read that paper. I read it. I read the paper. I sat down and I fucking read that paper. I sat down and I looked at the graphs. I looked at the stats. I looked at it. It's nothing to do with Marvel Rivals. It's before Rivals came out, first and foremost. They never talk about a hero shooter in that fucking paper. They never say they implemented in a hero shooter. And it's just like they just look at it and it's like, oh, that makes sense. They implemented Marvel Rivals. It's not evidence. It doesn't provide any evidence. It's not like it says it provided like this has been implemented in hero shooter Marvel Rivals. It just doesn't make sense, right? And like I think my biggest argument against EOMM by the end of the day is that if you pick any good player, like any top 10 player, if you pick them and then you give them a new account, they'll climb with almost 100% win rate or like 80% win rate back to Celestial or Eternity. Like, and if EOMM was real, that wouldn't be possible. Like, you wouldn't be able to climb every season. Like, all the good players are always high rank. Like, Valentina Eve, right? She's always rank 1, right? That wouldn't be possible if there was EOMM. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why are always the good players high rank? Like, we've had a lot of people do unranked to Celestials on their main rows. And they always go like 50-0 or 50-5 or some shit. Like, and how is that possible if there's EOMM? The system should be holding you back. Like why is Rigsy one above all? Because he's good at the fucking game. That's why. Like it's just so simple. I just hate it. I hate the discussion. Every game has this discussion. And if you truly believe in UMM and you truly believe you're playing perfectly, then fucking quit. I don't fucking like what the fuck are these arguments about? It's a fucking video game. What's the fucking you're making me lose brain cells and you're losing brain cells. It's just a waste of time, right? Like it just annoys me so much. Like Craggy is always high ranked because he's good at the game. Like there's no fucking like, if I take any snippet from any competitive game from like 10 hours of queuing up, you're always going to find bullshit games because people are stupid and people are going to throw your game. Like Flat said, somebody's going to pick Hella even though he's a strange one trick, right? So like people are going to do stupid shit. People are going to throw your game and it's inevitable. Like, and like, it's just annoying that people just keep latching on to the EMM talk, and it's annoying that people keep talking about it. And it's just nothing burger, like genuinely nothing burger. Maybe in some sense the system has optimized you to have worse teammates or something else. I don't fucking care. I don't look at like it's a waste of time for me to look at their profiles. It's a waste of time for me to look at enemies' profiles. I'm going in, I'm gonna try to play my best and move on with my life. And you can call me a shill and you can call me whatever you want. And I already see the comments in my chat calling me a shill. Tibao, any single one of you, if you send me your fucking account and I watch through your replays, you're gonna be embarrassed of what I'm gonna see, right? There was this one guy on Twitter that was like, EOMM is real. What am I supposed to do? I can't climb. Bro, his fucking history, 6 and 12, 5 and 11, 3 and 15. I'm like, brother, there's no fucking way you're this delusional. Wake the fuck up, right? It is just like it always happens. So, guys, please just focus on the game. Also, another argument about EOMM, people are like, oh, but you just play with your friends and good players. You can play with your fucking friends too. Just play with your friends. You don't have to solo queue, bro. It's a team-based game. Play with your damn friends, okay? You don't.
Well, now they
have
can
to
actually.
solo
Don't
queue.
forget about that.
Now I have mentioned to the developers actually. I really disagree with the change. Yeah, you can't 6-stack anymore. I disagree. Yeah. Either way, I do disagree with that change. I did talk to developers about it as well. I was like, guys, this is really stupid. But the only thing I have about the matchmaking, I'm sorry, is just add placements. Like this, please, can we have placements? Because every 2 months, you're rank resetting, and then it's a fucking mess now. Like, and there's no placements. Like, for example, Sagem, who's pretty decent in the game, he got rank reset to silver because he was busy, and now he's stomping silvers. What the fuck is he supposed to do? It's stupid, right? Just add placements and stop rank resetting every 2 months. Anyways, rant over. That's my point. I don't believe in UMM. I think if you lock in, you can win. And if anyone is so adamant UMM is real, I can watch your replay and I will find the most horrific gameplay known to mankind. Like, I could guarantee you that.
Well, I appreciate the passionate rant, Boger, and there's a mountain of content coming your way potentially. Where, guys, there you have it. If
Yeah, good luck
anyone
with that
wants to prove that EOM is real, send your replay to Boger.
Boger
and see what he
goes
says.
to China and he becomes
I
a
will-
shill for NetEase.
Wow, that's
Paid
crazy.
agent.
What a
Paid
coincidence!
agent.
He comes back and he's all of a sudden there's no Warren Barsing say. I will say I asked you to defend EOMM and you gave me
can't.
the worst. You gave me the worst
can't.
possible argument.
How am I
to
supposed to fucking
to
defend that?
defend
I don't
EOMM?
believe in that shit. It's like defend a flat Earth or like the fucking moon
that
landing.
is what
I
that is a
can't.
debating skill. There's debating skill,
I
Boger.
I don't have the dog in me for that. It's so stupid. I
Okay,
just
got it.
can't.
You want me to do
it? I'm well. I'm actually.
Well,
I
let
actually
Aramori
want
do it
to
if he
take it to Aramori take a crack at. Let me frame it this way. Aramori, you don't have to advocate for if you don't believe in it. But I'm gonna try in as good faith as I can. Look, I've been around the block too. I've been in Overwatch where we've had these discussions about rigged matchmaking, and I understand how matchmaking in any game is super frustrating, right? I have huge win and loss streaks in Dota all the time. Like I'm a hugely streaky player. I will literally gain 200 SR and then lose 200 SR promptly. So like it's gonna happen in every game. But let me in good faith try and take up some of the things that I hear. So Boger's argument is that the good players always end up back on top, right? Now the counter argument might be, well, those guys are exceptionally good, right? So when you are rank 1 material, you will always stomp your way through the main ranks. Like you'll always stomp your way through Master or whatever, and Celestial, and because you're just that much better than these guys, anyways, right? You're gonna stomp through Plat. So it doesn't like it's not close. But when it's close, when I am Plat and I get put in Bronze, it's not close enough for me to completely destroy the games, and I can still climb, but it's gonna take me so long because of EOMM or other flawed aspects of matchmaking. Is something like that feasible in your mind? Like, do you put any weight in an argument like that?
So I was actually not going to take the stance of I don't think it's real from the get-go. Like I actually
wow.
think it's I know Boger's like, this is the dumbest thing ever, and I'm like, maybe, I don't know. I could definitely see a universe where like uh shoot, I just totally lost my train of thought. I could definitely see a universe where they want to keep people in the game. So like there's like a system where it tracks, hey, if you lose a bunch of games, we know that you stay on longer than if you win a bunch of games. I don't know. I could definitely see something like that happen. It doesn't seem like something so far-fetched. I don't think it's as extreme. If this boogeyman exists, right? Like I don't think it's as extreme as like we are going to make sure you lose these games. I really do think it's like maybe they put people who have been losing the last 2 games in a game together and then go from there. I really don't think it's anything more than that, right? I don't think there's a boogeyman that's going to put the Widow OTP that everyone has avoided on your team if you've lost your last game. I don't think it's anything like that, really.
Yeah, so what you're saying is it's not necessarily a conspiracy. It's just that maybe there's like a factor somewhere that takes into account, like, oh, this
Yeah.
person, we want to keep him on.
My
exactly.
point with this entire thing is a lot of people just use it as an excuse as why they can't climb
100%.
out of a fucking rank, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever the matchmaking system is, it's never actually holding you back from climbing.
Yeah, and so what I was going to say too is I don't think it's like a far-fetched thing that it might exist in some capacity. I actually don't think so at all. I was going to say like I do think that that is why pro players don't really care, or like good players, good competitive players, eternity players don't care. Is because I think even if they are losing 2-3 games and they get put in like a game that they are supposed to lose, I think they'll win. I think there's definitely times where they just play better and they just win, right? And I think I don't know, maybe that's an argument against it or for it. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Elo based matchmaking
Thanks
exists
for the awesome game
when I
play and
lose,
tips
and it
for
doesn't
Marvel
exist when I win.
Rivals and
So
Dow.
that's all there is to it, I think.
Thanks for 6 months, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna throw it back to Flats because Flats was gonna say he might have like an argument or two in favor of it. Do you have something to throw our way, Flats?
Sure. I personally am more with Boger. I don't think it's holding you back. I think it's a boogeyman in the closet. But let's put on my alter ego hat, and I believe in this case it exists, right? So I think there is anecdotal, or at least like evidence that the average layman can point to and go, what about that? And reasonably articulate that they have a suspicion that it's real. For example, if you lose 3 or 4 quick play games in a row, you get a bot lobby. Doesn't matter what rank you are. I've actually experienced it with SK before at late night. Like we were just like literally running it down like Spider-Man and something else. And we lost like 4 games in a row. And then we got a game with this really, really nice game. The guy sounded like he sounded like he had just got off his 9 to 5. Like I've never heard like a guy that sounded more like just came home from a 12-hour shift in my whole life. Nicest dude though. And at some point he goes, man, I think we're playing against bots. And I was like, holy shit, wait, is that guy right? And so we went back and watched the VOD, and they were bots. We absolutely saw that they were bots. And it is replicatable. You can do that. If you go in and you lose 3-4 games quick play in a row, you can spawn bot lobby. You could argue that if you lose too many games in a row, the game knows that you are not having fun because nobody likes to lose. Everyone likes to sit there and pretend that like, oh, like, you know, I don't have to win every game to have fun. Shut up. Yes, you kind of do. Like, you can't lose every game. Like, you can lose a game and it'd be fun. But that doesn't happen very often, and it doesn't happen that often. Everyone has a limit, right? And if you lose a lot of your games, you're not having a good time. So, the game throwing you a bone and giving you a bot lobby to give you a free win, isn't that almost like an argument for the system trying to encourage you to keep playing more, engaging you more in the game? Now, that doesn't happen in ranked, right? There is no activated agents, to my knowledge, that like they're just like they just press a button and they like and like they just start playing badly to try to like give someone a win. But the fact that that system even exists is a bit of like a that's odd. And then people point to things that are not read fully, like example, Bugger was saying this research paper. Let's be honest, we live in a day and age where people love to say the phrase, do your own research, but their own research is with listening to some other guy that did the research or said they did the research. It didn't actually do the research. And that is them saying that they did the research, which isn't actually doing the research. It's the lazy way of doing the research. Or listening to someone on Twitter who said that they read it, but you didn't actually read it. Like you listen to some guy who said they read it. So you already, even if they did, it isn't a first-hand account. It's a second-hand account. And at best, that second-hand account is typically not very accurate. That's why a lot of times first-hand accounts are required for a lot of data points for lots of things, for like whether it's crimes or for like actual academic research. Regardless, though, people do notice the streaks, and they go on big win and losing streaks, and they don't think that's normal, because think about what this game is. This game is a collection of Overwatch players, Call of Duty players, Apex Legends players, Valorant at one point, although I think most of them went home by now. Like that, when Rivals came out, it was at a time where every fucking game in the industry sucked balls. There was not a single multiplayer FPS game that was doing really well in December of last year. All of them were ass. So everyone showed up. Like literally everyone was here. If you went and looked through that category, it was gamers from every corner. And I'd say that this is the first AAA title, multiplayer FPS game that held multiple players from multiple games longer than a month since Valorant in 2020. So over time, though, I think that the Overwatch players or former Overwatch players obviously took the quick lead because they had all the experience, right? Or Paladins or even TF2. For those people, like all the people that were like hero shooter people, all took the lead, right? And then everyone else kind of like was lagging behind, learning from them, but also kind of still arguing along the way. To them, is it normal to queue up and lose 4 or 5 straight games in a row? No, probably not. In Overwatch, it was normal. Like I had a time when I was new to PC, like I was still learning like mechanics and stuff. I like made masters, and in one fucking night of tilt queue, I dropped from 3,500 masters to 2,500 fucking plat in one night because I went on such a raging tilt queue at the time, right? Like this is like 2017, and so like that was not the matchmaker. That was me. And a lot of these people, like if I look at their profile the same way Boger does, I will see them do really well and they play like 3, 4, 5 games and then they fall off because it's hard to stay like concentrating that for that long. It's hard to stay that locked in. They don't take a break. And I see some guy who queues 25 fucking games and he starts off on a 3 or 4 game win streak, then loses 6 in a row and then keeps queuing, wins 1 or 2 and then loses another 5. And it's like, brother, you are like 9 hours into a session. Put it down. Put it down. So like they don't realize that they're not playing as well and they think it's the system. And
yeah,
they're not necessarily wrong for thinking it's the system because they're not used to it from other games. They're not used to it in a hero shooter because you will win and lose games based on your teammates. And that's what happens. You can go 700-0 and still lose because it's a team-based game. But you will not go 700-0 and lose every single game. If you did that consistently every single game, you will climb and you will win. But you do it once in a while, and that one game sticks out in your head, and you combine that with looking at the quick play matchmaking, looking at, you know, like, oh, I get someone on my team that's decayed down and hasn't played in 3 seasons. This is an agent the game has sent me. Oh, that guy was on a losing streak. And it's enough evidence to come together to rationally think that it's real because other people have also said it's real. And so you have something to latch onto. And also, like, real talk, why would you believe Rivals if they said it wasn't real? Why would you believe them? Because it's in their best interest to lie to you, right? Because they want you to stay on the game more. You spend more money. You play it more. Their numbers go up. They should lie to you. They should. And so when you sit here on this side of the quote-unquote EMMM, there's no reason for them to believe you. Because like if you go against what I say, it's in your best interest to go against what I say. So fuck you. So it's hard to argue with them, you know?
But anything else you want to add on the EOMMM before we kind of more generally talk about actually just the matchmaking?
Guys, it's just like Flats mentioned. When I was playing Overwatch, one time I dropped from 4.4 to 3.8 or something. Like it's just people playing the game for too long and then going on losing streaks and winning streaks and then like pulling. Like nobody can ever admit that it's their own fault. And like again, as Flat said, if you fucking perform well one game and you lose, you remember it. But then if you perform well every game, it's just you're gonna win games and you're gonna climb. Look, my my point here is if you start losing, just fucking leave, bro, and take a break and like reset your mind. It does wonders on any game. That's why I don't believe in it. Is because it was the same in any game I've played. I go in, I win a bunch in the first 2-3 hours, then I keep queuing and it goes downhill, right? And even in single player games, and you can't tell me Elden Ring has fucking EOMM, brother, because like when I play the same boss for 10 hours in a row, I ain't beating that shit. But if I go to sleep and wake up refreshed, I am winning, right? So it's just play the game. When you stop having fun, you start losing, just take a break and come back and you're gonna start winning again. It's not because the system is holding you back and resetting the fucking lobbies. It's because you actually got some fucking sleep and went outside and came back refreshed, okay? That is my honest to God opinion. And watch rivals and netties come out and say EOMM is real, we're lying to you, and we're all holding you hostage, and then I'm gonna look like a clown. That'll be funny. But there isn't much else to add, yeah.
Okay, the only place I disagree is Elden Ring definitely has engagement optimized matchmaking. Those fucking bosses be pulling out new moves. 50
That's
goes
true.
in.
Real.
They just pull out new shit. They just pull out new. Like, he hasn't done that the last 50 fucking times. Just because I got close, he pulled out some new shit. Elden optimized matchmaking. That's how it is.
Guys, I'm gonna go get my food though.
Okay, go get your food. I'm gonna talk to Aramori anyways.
Mm.
Aramori. Now that's engagement optimized matchmaking, but I've heard complaints in matchmaking overall too. You know, I've heard a lot of complaints that my rivals matchmaking is just ass. Like it's not a conspiracy, it's just bad. So how do you find the state of matchmaking overall and how you played it?
Well, hold on. Is it 2017 again? No. All right, we're not back in Overwatch.
Would someone get
it's
the seagull
same thing.
clip? Someone find it.
It's the same thing. Any game that has matchmaking, people are going to complain from time to time because it will end up being like unfair, right? Like I just played a game today where we had 5 pros on one side and 2 on the other, and they were like, "Oh, well, matchmaking. It happens. It just happens, right? All you can really do is just keep queuing, right? And hope that, next game it's 3-3 or maybe you move out of a pro lobby or whatever. It just happens. I don't think there's anything like that NetEase is doing specifically like different to like make it worse in any way. I just think that's how these games are going to be. Um, there are also times where in Overwatch and in Marvel Rivals, I've had a team that has 5 pros lose to the team of 6 randoms. Like it happens. So yeah, I mean, matchmaking is matchmaking. It's gonna be random, and sometimes that'll be in your favor, sometimes it won't, and sometimes it doesn't matter if it's in your favor. You can just win if you're better. If you play good, you can just win.
So this is a difficult question I'm about to pose you, but because I think it's really hard to make this call because of you're grinding rivals right now, so you don't necessarily have a great perspective on like what matchmaking is like in other games. But compared to the games you have played, do you think like rivals is doing it better, equally, worse? The matchmaking
It feels
aspect.
exactly the same. It feels the matchmaking itself feels exactly the same as Overwatch. Like I run into the same people. I play we avoid people that are on the enemy team. Hey guys, you're probably gonna lose because I avoided that guy. Yeah, I don't know. It feels pretty the same. Yeah.
Okay. Flats, how about you? You feel like the rivals matchmaking is in a good state? Is it some flaws that you dislike about it, or actually think it's great?
I think the matchmaking itself is kind of dog shit, but it's not because of EOMM. It's just because like you will get games that you know at the spawn room you've lost. But just like in Overwatch, that happens. Like it's not the game's fault per se. It's just like, yeah, this fucking blows. And you know what the funny thing is, actually, if EOMM was real, I would actually rather EOMM over SPMM for quick play specifically, because I don't know if you've ever played an Overwatch quick play game in the last year, but it's like playing in the fucking Olympics. Every game literally is harder than ranked. Like, people are sweating harder in a QP game than in actual ranked games. I'm not joking. Like, Rivals ranked or quick play is actually pretty fun most of the time. Until I get noticed as a streamer, then I'm playing like DBD, and I'm just literally running a third point on Spider-Man. I have people chasing me, like, guys, like, we're on first point. Like you got to make it less obvious. Other than that, though, like, it actually is kind of fun, game in and game out a lot of times. And I actually think for QP specifically, Rivals is actually really good. Ranked, though, not really. But, like, also, that's just kind of how it is in a game without roll queue. Not saying you should have roll queue, by the way. I'm just saying, like, you will get games where I queue and I go, uh-oh, we have 5 of the 15 tank players on queuing on the same team. Oh shit. Like, we're cooked. Like, we are so fucking cooked. We actually can't do anything. And that's matchmaking, right? Like, should the matchmaker know? Like, should it have some type of background knowledge of, like, oh, this guy plays a lot of tank. Okay, we'll put 2 of these guys who play a lot of tank on one team, you know, like, oh, these guys play DPS. Okay, we'll make sure to put them. Like, I'd argue probably not, because like what if the metas are changing? It's like, what if those heroes don't even make sense? It's like, also, it's like, are we gonna get longer queue times? Because I love the queues in Rivals. Like, dude, as someone who played Overwatch for years, do you know how fucking ass it is to sit there for 35 minutes and fucking not get a queue? Oh, I don't actually have that problem. I play tank, but if I duoed with anyone else, yeah, I had that. Then that was a big issue. And it's like, I like getting quick games. They're nice and they're not bad. Like, you do lose games at the spawn room. Like, we all do, right? And like, you probably will too, because you get into a game and you have 3 cloak and dagger OTPs. Sucks to fucking suck, I guess. But like, that's not going to be every game. You know what I mean? And like, there's going to be games where they have 3 cloak and dagger OTPs and you don't know that because you don't go check their profiles, because you just take the win and you move on to the next game. You never think about that one.
Yep.
So, yeah. And also, the hard part about this whole conversation, it realistically is, and I'm already getting flashbacks to Overwatch, is unfortunately, if you disagree with the opinions of this masses of like this crowd, like, they're immediately going to start going, like Boga was saying, shill. They're going to start going, like, oh, aren't you guys paid? And it's like, my brother in fucking Christ, man. I literally play like 3 fucking games at once, and 2 of them are the major competitors to each other. Do you think they both want me to talk positive about each other at the same time? No, they'd love to pit one against each other. It's literally doesn't even make any fucking sense if you think about it for more than half a goddamn second. But unfortunately, though, that's the thing. Same thing with the conversation we were having before, where if Rivals comes out and says, oh, that's not real, they can easily go, well, they want to lie to us because we'll make more money off of it. So they already have an out. So like, we're cooked in that department. But anyways, yeah, I think a matchmaker is like, there's nothing you can do about it, but like, it does kind of blow, but it is what it is. That's how games go. Oh well.
Yeah, and obviously the elephant in that room is like, open queue has its benefits, but then also creates the extra problem of like, the more flexibility you give your players, the more room there is for the matchmaking to go wrong, because some guys playing something like they never play, like a role they never play, you know, like, just because like maybe there's some transferable skills in the tank if you just role queued them the tank, but when they're playing DPS support, well, this guy's complete ass now, right? So it comes with its, again, we're going down the whole argument, not to again trigger your flashbacks, but it's like, well, at that point, just implement a role queue, right? If you really want people to be soft match made, Flats is just quickly adjusting his camera. If you really want people to be soft match made for like 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 supports, well, you're just asking for role queue. And I think this argument already came and went in Marvel Rivals. Hopefully, you never know. These it'll come up again, I'm sure.
It'll come back. I'm sure it will.
It died
for sure. Flats, you good?
Yeah, I got a new camera. It's good. It's just being annoying. Give me like 2 minutes. But I'm still here though. I'm listening.
I got you. Boger, do you want to chime in on matchmaking, or are you gonna munch?
Matchmaking? Oh.
Yeah,
fuck.
just in general, matchmaking in general. Do you think it's like, compared to an average competitive game, do you think it's good, better, worse?
What'd you get for food, by the way?
Okay. That's one more time.
Just beef, beans,
Fuck,
and rice.
I'm hungry.
That's
All
it.
right, thank you. Continue.
One more time. If it crashes, I might have to swap to my old version.
Just, I don't know. I never you always have government agents in any game you play competitively. You know, it's just like the human factor. People are just stupid and they are always gonna throw you games. That's why I think being flexible is the most important thing in the game. Because if you're really good on 3 characters per row, I think you're gonna win a lot more games than being just really good at 1 row. And you usually see that in rank. The people that climb a lot are people that are really good at 3 different rows. Like they're good at like 3 or 2 different characters in each row. Like Moxie climbs a lot because he's really good on cap and on DPS as well, and probably can play support. So whatever your team needs, you're ready to fill in, and you can outperform most people, and you can like fit the pieces better, right? But matchmaking it's bad. Like it's always gonna be bad. In any game you play, it's gonna be bad. Like in Overwatch, it was bad. Whoa, let me
Three heroes in each role, Burger. Like some people have jobs, you know. It's all strange for
So
for
here's-
gamers.
Whoa, no
Strange.
slurs, no job slurs.
Strange.
Don't say
No,
the
but my-
J word.
But my
Yeah.
point is, like, you can't, like, if you are not willing to put in the time to get really good at the game and really good at all of these characters to be able to climb to one above all or the rank you want to, why are we complaining? I don't get, like, people just want to get rewarded, right? So, like, you can't just climb and not put in the effort. It's in any game, right? I think people are just too used to the initial system of rivals where they just climb for existing, and now they're like, but wait, I need to put in effort now. Well, yes, motherfucker, you do. Like, what the fuck did you expect, right? So, yeah, matchmaking bad. But what are they gonna do? It's always gonna be bad. You can't, like, unless you have reverse UMM where they give you like bots that are perfect and fit the team every time. Once you start losing, you're not gonna have perfect matchmaking. It's bad in any game you play. Either, and also I think people are really burnt out right now, and it just adds
Yes.
into the effect. Like they're so everybody's fucking negative. It reminds me of
They're
Overwatch
so
back in the day.
angry.
They're
Yeah.
so angry, they're so negative, they're so tilted. Everybody's pissed off, and it's just like it's just exhausting, right? So, yeah, it's just like
Well,
yeah. Go.
Go ahead. No, finish your thought. Finish your thought.
No, I was gonna say the game. I'm gonna say it again. It's a meaningless topic because I know it's not happening anytime soon. We need more supports and tanks. That's it. Like people, the support players are tired. DPS, tank players are tired. People just want more variety. I think support players have it fucking rough. I'll be honest with you. I think all
Thanks, Boger.
the Twitch Rivals tournament, 80% I think were support players, or like 70%, right? It was some ridiculous number. And all of these people don't play Rivals. You know why? Because they have nothing to fucking play. They don't get any new toys. But instead, we get like 50 million new DPS characters every season. And all DPS players keep playing. And everybody keeps playing DPS. And nobody plays support because there's nothing new to play on support. So there's like, right? But obviously, it's going to get fixed with time. But I think that adds a lot to the frustrations.
Can I just listen? I don't mean to be that guy. I don't think adding characters to those roles makes people play them that much more often. Like they'll play them like for the first week, and then they just go back to
Nope.
playing whatever. But like I agree with you, but also like if you had like tanks,
a
for
lot.
example, people play it for like a week, and then they're like, okay, you got it.
That's not my point. It's not my point.
Yeah.
My point is the people that play the role are a lot more likely to stop playing the game, or
Yeah.
like take a break from the game because there's no new role, like no new characters for that role in a while, right? Like I'm not talking about like new people are gonna start playing the role. I mean like all of these support players would come back and play, and if they really like the character, some of them are gonna stay and play for a little bit longer. That's my point, right? I don't think it's gonna fix matchmaking. I think you're still gonna have 5 DPS per game, but I think it's just gonna be better, and support players are gonna complain less for a bit, and then complain again, and then tank players are gonna complain less, and then go back. Have you heard DPS players complain about their role? Not really, because they get 50 million characters. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm always willing to, take criticism, but I think DPS players have a lot of DPS players have a lot of tools, and it's not boring to play DPS because you can always swap to something else. And like, oh, I'm bored of Wolverine, I'm gonna play Namor. I'm bored of Namor, I'm gonna play Bucky. I'm gonna bored right. So what do you do with support? Oh, I'm bored of Luna, I'm gonna play Loki. I'm bored of Loki, like I'm gonna play Cloak and Dagger. That's it. That's it. What are you gonna play? Jeff the Land Shark, Rocket the Raccoon versus Phoenix? What are you gonna like? Yeah.
Well, again, a couple interesting discussion points that we can go to. I'm gonna give Boger a second to eat in peace. So Boger, don't worry, I'm not gonna make you chat for a bit. Chomp away, eat that rice. I'm gonna take it to Armory because you kind of earmarked this right on the go, Armory, when you talk about your summary, and then Boger kind of mentioned it right now. This idea of like burnout, and you kind of specifically were talking about players are angry right now. Like the community feels angry somehow. So do you want to elaborate firstly on like what you mean by that, and then why do you think people are burnt out / angry?
I don't know. I just feel like more so than, I guess maybe just because the game has been out for more time, which I think I said on the last time we chatted. Like, it feels like the longer the game comes out, the more angry people get. Like, and I guess that's literally like the definition of burnout, right? Like they're doing the same thing over and over and over again and just getting sick of it or something. But yeah, I've just been queuing recently, and I'm queuing into some people, and they're just angry all the time, just from the start of the game, just angry. And those are probably the same people that say, elo matchmaking is real or whatever, or I don't know. They just queue in. We lose first fight, and then they're like, GG, it's over, give up. Okay, sure. I don't know. I just been seeing some crazy stuff, but like that's not again. I don't think it's unique to rivals. It's the same thing was
Shit.
happening in Overwatch, especially after
Okay,
time.
I'm flipping
I,
back
I
to
don't know what the fix for that is. I don't know if there is a fix. It's just people just getting angry.
Do you think?
You
I mean,
can't
I
fix
know
it
that.
though. That's my like.
No, I don't think you can.
Every online game like this that is always like free to play is always like the community tilted because the people that play, they play 20 hours a day and then they do it for a year and they're gonna get tilted, obviously. Either way, I
Yeah.
just want to interject because it is the inherent nature of games like these.
Hey guys, let's be nice. Let's push a let's be nice initiative. Like, we had
Let's
the
see if this
support
fixes it.
strike. Let's have a let's be nice strike.
I'm gonna strike if you're not nice to me.
Yeah, I think so.
I was gonna ask, while Flats fixes camera issues, don't worry, buddy. Do you think Flats gonna eat, or Broker's gonna eat, Flats gonna fix the camera, and then Aramori and I can have a private interview? I was gonna ask. It's hard for you to. It's probably gonna be hard for you to give this perspective, but do you think that's a problem that's exacerbated at the high levels where all three of you play? Because it's like these are the people who play the most, and they have the most reason to get burnt out and kind of tired, especially when you consider the meta problem that you've kind of described. We'll elaborate more on later, but these issues that like there's only so many acceptable heroes to play at this level, that contributes to like, is that at all a factor? Or do you think this is kind of universal across the Rivals experience?
So I have been taking some dives into the lower ranks, like gold and plat and diamond, and play with some friends, see what's going on, play some other characters. I've been playing Emma a lot. I love Emma. She's so fun. And I would say no. I don't think it's unique to just the people who are at high rank. I think if anything, the higher rank you go, the more chill people get because I think they understand you can't win every game, and I think they understand like I don't know, just I guess you just can't win every game. So yeah, lower ranked. I think honestly people might just be more upset. They're less likely to take accountability. Oh, I had a point I was going to make when we were talking about matchmaking and elo based matchmaking or whatever. Not elo based. Why do I keep saying that? Engagement based. Sorry, keep misspeaking.
All good.
One of my teammates said something to me when I was asking how they play so much ranked because they literally log on and play 14 hours a day, right? Like just insane. They were like, "Well, just remember, when you win, you got carried, and when you lose, your dog shit." And so that's just their mentality. They just keep playing. It's a pretty toxic mentality, but that's what they do. Everything is like self accountable, right? And I think the good players know that, and they know to like reflect and be like, "Oh, I kind of ulted at a bad time here. I should do that better for next time." Whereas like you have a bad player and they're like, that ult was perfect. I have nothing to change. I am a perfect player. And then they never get better. And then they sit and plot and then they get mad at their teammates. And then they're just angry. So yeah, if anything, I think higher ranks, people are less angry. Like probably like tippy top. And then like really close to the top, I think people are still angry.
Well, Boger's very politely raised his hand, so for that reason alone, Boger, you can chime in.
I was gonna say it's just all ego. It's all ego. It's always ego.
Yeah.
Like people that like when I tilt, it's ego. Like straight up, and I realize it, and I'm like, holy fuck. When like after I take a break, it's always ego. Like that's why your teammate doesn't get as tilted and keeps playing the game because he never has the ego to get tilted. But like, it's worse in
Yeah,
lower
that's
ranks, bro.
true.
It's worse in lower. Like when I play in lower ranks, for whatever reason, holy shit, people have the ego of a professional basketball player, but they can't even fucking land a single shot. It's insane. Like and because their ego is so fragile, the moment something fucks up, they instantly collapse. Like it's just instantly collapse. But once you start playing with really good players, some of them have crazy ego, of course, and they're insufferable. But a lot of the really good pros, they're like, all right, we lost. GG's moving on, right? And they take notes of the game and they move on with their lives, or say unlucky and move on with their lives, right? So at the end of the day, I genuinely believe that if you're getting tilted at the video game, it is 100%, 110% you're getting tilted at yourself, and you're not willing to admit it. Because every time I'm chill, or every time like I'm in the mental state to realize what my mistakes are, I never get tilted. I'm like, I just suck. But the moment I go like I'm God, I'm perfect, I should have won that game, I instantly get tilted. That's instant tilt.
Yep.
And you think if you think of it purely from a logical POV, it makes sense because your mentality is like any other skill that you're improving in the game, right? Like the way you approach the game is equally as important as how you play the game. And so it makes sense that if your mentality is strong, you're more likely to climb. If your mentality is weak, you could be good at the game, but you're going to get stuck somewhere along the way, because if you would improve your mentality, you'd get further along. And in fact, it might exacerbate it, because if you're mechanically good, you might be playing well, but then you do something really stupid, tilt off the face of the earth, and then you throw the game, and then you're like, why am I losing even though I'm so good? Well, it's because you tilt like that, bro. Flats, how do you feel about this like community and burnout? I mean, you kind of have the like now the joy of being able to kind of dip out the game, right? But do you see this like burnout? Do you see like people are getting madder?
Oh yeah, it's always been like that though. I wouldn't say matter. I don't think it's the word I'd use. It's just as mad as it's ever been, depending on a game's climate. But yeah, it's genuinely just from people playing too much. That's it. That's the truth. Unfortunately, that is your truth. You play too much. You need to play other stuff. There's other games out there.
Can I add in again?
Yeah.
I was gonna say every time I take a break and come back, I play better.
Yeah, that's true. It happens every time. You know, just like with anything in life, sometimes you have to take a step back, even if you don't want to, and that's okay. That's how it is. And so that's what I do. Anytime I'm not having fun with Rivals these days, I go play something else. Or if there's something new, like the last couple of days, I played like some of the new Overwatch hero. That was kind of fun. Played it for a bit. And then after playing for like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, I was like, okay, I think I'm all set with this for now. It's just a test weekend. It's not like it's ranked. I'm like, okay, this is good. And then I went back to doing what I wanted to do. You know, like I played Terraria this weekend and did some dog sitting.
Banger.
And like, you know, like there's a lot of things I want to do. Like I'm pretty behind on my Rivals content. I haven't done a spectating in a while. I know people always want me to do that, but it's like I know I've got things I gotta do, but that's okay. Sometimes it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna be a little bit slower. Yeah, am I top 500 one above all right now? No, but you know what top 500 in this game is really? It's really a time check for how often you play the game. Like everyone who plays in top 500 is basically just like hardcore grinds game in day out, and that's good for you. But I'm past that stage of my life, and I have much more fun with it that way. And when I get the actual demon, as these two are alluding to, that's like screaming about the lobby or like screaming about like whatever's happening, I literally laugh at them 95% of the time. You know, at some point though, I will flame them because it's fun to do that too. And like if they're just like an absolute idiot, like it's fun to flame them back. But like most of the time you just laugh at them and then you move on and then you do whatever, right? Like that is the way you enjoy it the most, and you probably will climb better. You will probably be happier. You'll probably play better. But yeah, like it's hard to blame them because like they're all put on the treadmill though. Like real talk, like they kind of feel like they have to play it. Like think about how much Rivals content gets pumped out, right?
Yeah.
Like if you don't play the new in-game, like you know, like they have those mini events, like you have to play the mini event to get the skin, right? Like if you don't play, you're not going to get it. And then they kind of time gate it too, like you can't get it all in one day. Like you have to come back multiple days in a row to like grind it out and to get it. Battle Pass kind of the same thing, even though they're much better now with it. You feel like you have to keep coming back to play to earn all your rewards, and you don't want to miss out, the FOMO of missing out. And then, you know, then the meta shifts, right? You just spent the last 3 weeks trying to learn the new meta, like learn a new character, and then boom, that character is not useful anymore. You got to move on to the next one. And so I think for a lot of like the more casual medal rank type players, they're at their limit of like they're almost like slaves to the game. They have to keep playing. And of course you're going to get upset, and of course you're going to have a bad time with it. And like, you know, I think that honestly, like the Necros blaming was like almost a canary in the coal mine. Like everyone was looking for something to get really fucking pissed about. And it's like, that was such a crazy event. I still can't believe it even happened. you know, it's like everyone's just looking for something to get mad at, and now like they have a new target. The new target's EOMM, and the new target's gonna probably be with the devs after the video, and we'll see
Me.
what happens. And oh yeah, you're probably
I
on
was
that
gonna say
list
it should
too.
be Boger. Should be Boger.
Yeah,
I'm
it
on
should
the
be
list.
Boger.
I think somebody already uploaded on Reddit and me complaining about Luna Snow.
Oh, beautiful. That's
Yeah.
nice. Hey, have fun with
That
that.
was
one.
me. That was me.
I,
That was me.
I I don't care. Let
You
him
know,
fucking yap.
I've had so many people like, why aren't you speaking up more about the stacking issue? I go, I did that in Overwatch and I got like crucified for it. Like I was like, remember back then I was like, yo, we should be allowed to play with our friends, and then everyone got to play with their friends. I'm like, yeah, this is fucking great. And then after like 6 months, everyone's like, the people that like, you know, the solo queue players like, these fucking streamers and players.
Me when
they're
other
just
people have
stacking their
fun.
games. They're ruining the experience. It was better when we could only solo queue and not speak to anyone else. And you know, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, hey man, like I just enjoy playing with my friends. Like, what the fuck, man? And so like people in this, I've already seen, like I've seen so many times, like, wow, just disappointed in you for not saying anything about it. And it's like, dude, I've done this before. I did it once, and like it doesn't do anything for me. Like, figure it out yourself. Like, fucking just do it on your own way. Like if it's meant to be, it'll come back. Like you gotta figure it out, man. I don't know. I'm here just to have a good time. Observe, do my yapping, tell you what I think, and then I peace out. I don't give a fuck otherwise. Like I do not have as much an emotional investment anymore as I used to. I used to have like a really big emotional investment and like tied, like, you know, like, hey, like I care about these issues. Like, yeah, no, I care about them, but not in the same way. It's more like, you know, hey, like I'm giving you the info. If you choose not to use it, hey, that's on you, Brand. That's on you. Hey, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care either way. So that's why, like, yeah, I'm a lot more casual with it now. But I think people confuse casual with like not playing. Like I still play a good amount. And I still, you know what I mean? Like I'm still playing in like the high rank lobbies. It's just like way less, and I have way more fun with it. I have a good time with it now. I don't stress and lose my shit, you know?
Yeah, I think the kind of the stuff you were talking about there, Flats, really kind of triggered the inner coach in me. Because for those who maybe don't know, I started content creation as like in the educational side of content creation, right? Like teaching people how to play, coaching, guides. And I think that the way I could best sum it up, this isn't even a discussion, this is just advice to anyone who like finds themselves frustrated with like matchmaking or whatever, is that like you kind of have to learn to set realistic goals, right? Like it's great to have a goal of like, let's say you want to be celestial, right? But you're really far away. You kind of have to make negotiations with yourself. It's like, well, I would have to commit a certain amount of time if I'm going to be celestial. Like I have to be able to pump in X number of hours purely because you're competing against people who are also putting in a lot of hours, right? So if you can't, you have to be either significantly better than them as like a natural talent, or you have to put in equal or greater hours than them, right? And if you can't commit to that, then you need to kind of bring your goals back. And honestly, the best goal I always recommend is just to improve, and don't set like a target. Don't be like, it has to be celestial, it has to be whatever, right? Just don't set that, because that's when you end up frustrated because you're not getting there. The better goal to set is just like, I just want to be a better player. I know that's a really like hippy dippy inalienable goal to kind of aim for, but I promise it's a lot healthier, because when you win or lose, you're still closer to your goal. When you set it as like a tangible amount, you're like, you feel like every loss is taking you further away, which isn't true, because you're getting better. So when getting better is your goal, you're always getting closer to your goal, right? You're always like, yeah, okay, I'm actually a better player. I didn't make that mistake I would normally make. I lost, but in that clutch moment, I actually pulled out a really clutch play.
I need to go get a
so
fan.
I'm actually really proud of
My
myself.
camera's
So like,
overheating.
I
I'm
did a
gonna
good
put it
job.
on the desk.
So
Back in 2 seconds.
I feel like changing your approach sometimes to the game is like as important as changing your playstyle. So that's what I'll leave on that. Anything else you guys want to kind of mention about matchmaking, community, anger, that before we kind of move on to the next topic?
I mean, what you said, I learned from playing fighting games, because it's like, because I've learned playing hero shooters by just tilt queuing infinitely, but like it's a lot more productive to actually sit down and practice something in particular. And I feel like a lot of people just play the game and they tilt queue and keep playing, and then they get upset and they just get stuck in a place. But I feel like if you actually go in, as you said, with a goal and practice something, or even in practice range and just practice something in particular, when the moment hits where you need to replicate, you're just gonna do it instinctively, right? Because you've practiced it, right? And I
For
think it's a
sure.
pretty good mentality to actually play to improve, because you will win more in the long run. A lot of people are just focused on the moment of winning, which isn't good long term, because once you start climbing, you're still gonna be fucking terrible at the game. And you want to be good at the game. So even if you're gonna lose more now, you can win even more later.
Yeah, and that's not to say you shouldn't have any sort of specific goal. Like, I for a while was really like, I need to get immortal on Dota. Like, I this is the thing I want to do. But still, to get there, you have to kind of start smaller, and you have to, as you said, like, tangible doesn't necessarily mean X number on the scoreboard, like X number on the matchmaking. It can be like, I want to make sure I don't make this mistake again. Like, this is a thing I do. Like, I often feed in this way, or like I often misuse my ult. And when you set that as like, I just want to be better at that. Like, I don't want to do that next time. That's where you, I think, will create a healthier relationship with your with growth. With like, let me
Yep.
just, I'm always improving. Armor, anything you want to add? Because you're obviously the role model in this case. You're a competitive player. You're as good as it gets. You're constantly improving. So anything you want to add before we move on?
Oh, that's a perfect segue of what I was gonna say. I literally think I'm being so annoying sometimes because when I play ranked, the number one thing I do to my stream is I say my mistakes out loud. Like I talk to them and I say, "Oh, I should have done X, Y, Z," and I just explain my thought process out loud, and that helps me like one, like understand what I did wrong and get better, and two, like internalize it and then become a better player. And also it helps my chat. They love that. They're like, "Oh yeah, she's not perfect. She sucks." No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I really agree that being able to lose and look at why you lost and understand like going back in the replay especially, I think is a tool that everybody should do. I watch casual players just never look at replay. Guys, one thing, if you're going to do it different, look at the replay. Look at your ults in the replay and ask, like, is this a good ult? Was it necessarily? Especially you support players, you guys ult at terrible times all the time in lower ranks, even in higher ranks. And when you die, like look at points where you die. And Rivals does a really nice thing where in the replay it shows you where you die. And I don't know, you can just go back and say, okay, was this my fault? What could I have done differently? Did I need to play somewhere else? Could I have used an ability in a different way? And having that tool at your disposal and not using it is stupid and dumb. Guys, use it, please. It's so important. Like in queue, all of my ranked teammates or all of my teammates are just going through the last game and just doing that in their heads. And maybe they're not saying it out loud, but that's what they're doing. And it's really important. It's a really important skill to have. And some people need coaches to help them learn that skill, right? And that's fine. But a good player is going to be able to do that themselves. And sure, maybe you can do it in the moment, but replay is like going to be your best friend. And then we were talking a bit about taking breaks, and I wanted to say something of like, okay, I might not be the best person to talk about this because I might be allergic to going to the gym. We know this, it's okay. But your brain is a muscle just like any other part of your body, right? If you are working really hard, you put 4 hours in the game, and you start to feel like a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued, right? You did well, you learned a lot, right? The best thing you can do is take a break because your brain needs to solidify the information that it learned. And then when you come back, you can build off of that. It's like literally how your brain works. When you make new connections in your brain, like you're making new connections, it needs time to settle. And then you can build off of those new connections. That's it. That's how your brain works. So it's really important to take breaks. Taking breaks is the most important thing you can do. Like 4 hours on, take an hour off, take a break, eat, do whatever you need to do, come back, and you'll feel better, you'll feel less tilted, and you'll be able to build off of what you learned. It's super important.
I know the gym bro and Boger is like, yes, rest days.
But the same thing what applies for your, like, as Aramori said, the same thing applies in like when you play games and you try to improve, or like when you study and stuff. You're gonna learn a lot more by studying like a few hours a day for a week straight than fucking 20 hours in a
Yeah,
single
don't
day.
cram. Yeah.
Don't cram. Yeah, it's the same. It's the Elden Ring analogy. I really like it because like it's like I fight the same boss for like 12 hours. If I go to sleep and rest, come back, I'm gonna actually lock in. It's gonna be 10 times easier. And the same thing applies in ranked.
Mm.
For sure, for sure. Okay, that was, I think, hopefully very helpful to people, especially a normal player who's maybe struggling with their rank and how to improve. So there you go, some free advice. You normally that'd be paid information, but there you go, for free. Let's go back tangible, then let's go back to the balance, because something, these are things you guys have already kind of alluded to. but the state of balance of Marvel Rivals. Now I'm gonna take it to the man I know already expressed the most frustration earlier, Boger, who said he
Yeah.
was losing his mind at just having to play every game against the same few heroes or grinding the same few heroes himself. How would you rate the state of balance at the moment,
just-
Boger?
I think the game is fairly balanced, especially looking at Ignite and stuff. I just get bored so easily, and I've had enough. Like I just can't take this anymore, right? So, I think Luna needs to go, like execute. Loki needs some nerves, execute. Emma needs to get executed 100%. I like I love the character. She's great, but I've had enough of Emma terrorism. Every tank in the game has 10 times less fun because of Emma. Like it is, I am so tired of that character, right? Like it was fun while it lasted. It's time to let go. It's just like let us rest a bit, right? It's less about it being balanced, which I don't think it is unbalanced if you consider pro play and stuff. It's just boring, right? And it's just stale because you just play the same things over and over again, right? And like I want to see more Hulk in my games. Fuck it, I want to see more Thor. Like, can we make those characters more playable? Like maybe not Penny. Like keep her away. Less Emma. Less Emma. More Strange, less Cap. I don't like Cap. Sorry, Cap. I don't like that character. I don't like looking at that character. I don't like having him. I don't like playing him. Find it boring, right? So more of the funny tank characters. Add more fun tank characters. I want the next balance patch to be a little bit wilder. I don't want to I don't want to have like Emma Frost shield decreased by like HP decreased by 20. I just Emma Frost shield gone. Her left arm gone. No legs. She's just fucking flailing on the floor. She can't do anything. Like I just want characters. I just want a shift of the meta, right? Loki, Luna, yeah, slightly. Invis Woman, fun character. Buff her a bit. I just want to see more Mantis. I want to see more Cloak. Okay, I don't want to see more Cloaks. I want to see more Mantis for sure. I want to see more Invis for sure. Cloak is fine. And from the DPS, I don't think there's okay. Less Psylocke. Listen, there's so much Psylocke. I want to see that character more. Less Psylocke. And I don't know. To be honest, like I feel like DPS category there isn't anything that's too crazy. Torch, nerf Torch and Psylocke. That's Torch. I found Torch. Yeah, Torch and Psylocke. No, but with Torch it's weird because Torch isn't played in low ranks. But like Wolverine, people are saying Wolf. No, Sibao. I'm gonna say it as a tank player. Wolverine is necessary evil. Like it's just.
I think so too.
Is just like listen. I hate him. I just like any other guy, but if there was no Wolverine, this game would be unbearable. Like this game would be triple tank, triple support, spawn camping. It would be horrible. Okay, so we kind of need that character. We kind of need him, right? So that's my honest opinion.
Well, that was a nice summary of like the Boger approve hot or not list. He's like,
Honest, dishonest characters.
Not hot. You can tell you played this game a lot because you got personal in the middle. You were like, this guy unbalanced. Cap, I don't like looking at you, bro. You're just ugly. Fuck your mom. Just don't like you, bro. On a personal level, just don't like you.
Because with Cap, he's just running into your backline, and you're like already pushed in, and you're like, all right, like my backline is screaming. What am I supposed to do about it? And like I'm tired. I'm just tired because also his ultimate is just another support ult. So it's just Luna, Loki, Capo, repeat. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, that
Christ.
character's broken. Cap is
Flats,
broken.
how do you rate the balance? Do you have kind of a similar to the farm list, as we would call it in Overwatch? Do you have a similar to the farm list, or are you actually like, no, I think we're okay?
I think Rivals will always do very small micro buffs and micro nerfs because they believe that every character should have their hero fantasy. Oh, that's a fucking scary throwback word right there, or phrase.
I've heard that before.
We are genuinely exhibit the signs of traumatized people, don't we? Because we say
we do.
a word and it sends us back. We're like, hero fantasy.
But it's all true. That's the worst part, is like we can't even pretend like we're coping. It's actually fucking true every time. This might be a bit controversial. I'm cool with it. I actually think the balance is fine. I have times where I'm going to complain about certain things that are like too strong, or like I get fucking cooked by something that's really annoying. But like I very rarely find myself like hard raging like this. I'm sick of this shit. Like even Luna Loki, as annoying as it is, I feel like we have like pro play is probably way different, obviously, because like that's the min max. But in ranked, people don't have their brain on enough that if you have some coordination, like Phoenix Ult, Maggle together, you kill through Luna Ult. Like I am rewarded for being more proactive with my voice and with my teammates. And I kind of like that. And if they aren't, we win, you know? But if they are, well, my backline's going to get cooked because they're like, hey, they're not paying enough attention. You need to pay more attention, right? And like, you know, whenever there's a really fucking annoying character, I feel like we ban him out. You know, we ban him out a lot of times. And there's very rarely more than like 1 or 2 or 3. And when there are, like, you typically have one of those players on your team, so you don't have to worry about banning that one because, like, we got it. We got one of those. Like, it's fine. So you can just use your other bans on something else. And I think that's also partly because I don't just turn my brain off and queue it all day long. Like, I think queuing it all day long is where you really bump into those frustrations with it more and more often. But that said, though, Luna Loki's also dominated the game since the beginning of the game. And obviously, it'd be cool to have other metas that work. But I also... This is going to be even more controversial. I think ranked is very different than pro play. So let's preface it by saying that. I think most things can work in ranked. I think it's different when you get to the top 100 lobbies, of course, because you get everyone min-maxing. But like in 99.9% of the games, you can make a lot of shit work. But like people mentally fucking crumble if they don't have the perfect team comp off the bat. And to which then they just tilt and they suck. And that's it. Like, there's a reason why you bump into, like, every once in a while, like, the fucking mythical penny players, the 3 of them that are actually good, and they cook your whole team. And you're like, why the fuck does this highest win rate in the game, 60% win rate character, cooking my team? Meanwhile, if, like, when you don't bump into one of the fucking 3 good penny players, they're, like, chewing on their shoelaces type of players. And it's like, dude... This is like, it's cool to bump into them though and go, oh my god, we have to actually be afraid of that guy on like arguably the worst tank in the game. And like, that doesn't happen that often. But then like, yeah, if you're playing against Wolverine every game, ban the Wolverine every game. You're playing against Torch every game, ban Torch every game. Maybe add 1 more ban with next season because there's going to be more heroes, right? Like give each team 3 bans. Boom. Now you've solved a lot of the issues that you're bumping into without adding too long of an, time to get into a match, right? Like I think it's 15 seconds to choose your bans right now or something like that. Make it 10. Make it 10 seconds and like people have to be more engaged. Like you don't have as much time to talk. Like you get to talk if you're going to talk with your teammates about it as it's going, like talk about while the bans are running. And that's that's how it goes in pro play, right? Like you have 20 seconds on the clock, right? You're not talking about your current ban. You've already figured out your current ban. You're talking about the next one, right? It's like, okay, like what are they going to save or what are we going to save? Well, I just know. I like that's how it is. Like you're using your timer efficiently for the next bans. Like you're not like, okay, all right, we banned Jeff the Land Shark. Now we sit here when we wait till they finish their ban. No one says a word. No, that's not how that works. People will adapt and get better. And so like that way you just have the time to get into the games won't be as long. Get more bans. But like the balance itself, I know can be frustrating if you play it all the time, but I kind of like what they're doing. I think I like the weird shit. I like the Luna Adam team up. I think Adam Luna in ranked is actually viable. I've played it quite a few times with like Rigsy and we fucking win most of the time, but you always get like someone's going like, hey man, can you just go Loki for me instead? Can you just go Loki? And I always go like, I don't really play Loki. Like you could play Loki though, and I'll swap with you. And then they always go like, no, you play Loki. I go, well, I don't play Loki. Like this is what I got. And then we win like 2 or 3 fights in a row. And they're like, I swear if we lose one fight though, I want to see that Loki. I swear to God. Like real talk, people are bitches. They just don't understand how to play the game half the time. That's it. They're bitches and they bitch about it and they don't know what's actually good and they're afraid to try something else. In ranked. Different when you get to top 100 pro play. You guys are in your own mythical category though. And no offense, I mean this with love. I don't think the game should be balanced around you.
Fair. Sure.
Fair.
Because
Fair.
pro play, and the reason for that, I want to preface the reason for that is because you guys are so fucking good that you could give you the most perfect balance on the planet and you'd still find a way to break something. That is the absolute best compliment I think you can give to a pro player is like you are so fucking good that you will break it no matter what happens. So like balance off the game itself and let you guys fuck with everything else later, you know?
Yeah, I think the casual community is way too important to balance around pros.
Yeah.
Just I don't care. We'll figure it out. I don't care.
I just want more bans, I'll be honest. Like, all of my frustrations with the game, like, I can just ban more characters. Like, the last 2 bans can be for, like, the last ban can be for Emma or Luna, or I can ban both of those, or I can just do whatever the fuck I want, right? So, it's just gonna make... I'll go back to what I said before. I think Marvel Rivals will be an unbearable game without bans, and I think we need a little bit more
Yeah.
bans now, right?
Yeah.
And I think that will really freshen up things in ranked as well, because, like, I don't think there's anything crazy broke. I never see a character like Flat said. I'm like, yeah, this character's a terrorist. Like, it's just quite literally just exhaustion from seeing the same things over and over again. And it's just tiring. Like, you can counter Luna Loki, you can counter Emma, but I'm tired of countering them, right? And I think a lot of people in the casual community are also tired of Luna and Loki's and whatever else, right? We just need a little bit of fresh air, right? And it's just exhausting.
I'm going to take this to Armori now, because Armori, you bring an interesting perspective. You have a certain balance at pro level, and then you do play ranked. How do you rate the balance overall? Does one ever like affect your perception of the other? Like, what's being happening in pro play, does that ever affect your like, oh, I can't believe it's so busted in ranked, or the reverse? Does that ever happen?
Yeah, I definitely think like Cloak in pro play is super viable, but then in ranked I just want to like die every time I have to pick that hero because she's a very like macro team oriented hero, and every time I play her in ranked it's like trying to herd cats to use her abilities correctly, so I just don't even bother. And also I just build bad habits playing her in ranked, like I just not even worth it. So yeah, it's a different beast, right? Um, to build off of what you guys were saying about Luna Loki being super annoying, I think, uh, yeah, they are super annoying, but you have to understand if you're playing a support line that's not Luna Loki, you can't just, you can't just sit main and like shoot front to back and like heal your tanks and like try and win that way. If you're playing like Sue Rocket, get crazy, get creative, flank around, do what you need to do to make them uncomfortable. Luna Loki, like, they do really well if they're just sitting there just like holding hands and getting to like shoot their guns, right? But just understand the win con of your team and how to deny the enemy team from getting to just stand there and shoot, basically. And I feel like people don't understand that. They're like, we have to play the best heroes to win. No, you just have to do different things to make them not win. I don't know. It's a whole that's a whole can of worms that I could open. That's like, oh, how do we play this versus this? And obviously that would take way too long. But heroes that just do not work uh or need changes in their balancing, Human Torch, man. Every game that he's in, it doesn't matter pro play, it doesn't matter ranked, he is just instantly banned. It's because if one team has that guy, the other one doesn't, you're gonna lose. Like, and I hate saying that like definitively. Like, sure, you could win. It's so hard. It's so hard. He just gets to do whatever he wants. He runs around. He can shoot tanks. If he needs to, he can go backline. He can dive. He does everything. He's just too strong. He needs some reining in. He needs some tunes.
Do you want to know something funny? So I have a little bit more, obviously, connection to like casual players. So I recently did my like new season tier list where I put Torch obviously like #1 DPS, not close, and like most of the comments are like, where? Like, how the fuck is that guy #1? I never see him anywhere in any of my games.
You know
He's not,
why? Because people who play him are already in GM Celestial. Like,
and he's
they cut
hard.
the fuck out of
He's
him.
not like super easy for like the average player to pick up and like understand like what you're supposed to be doing. Like,
Yeah.
like once you get there, like it feels easier, right? Like once you kind of like know the flow and like what you're supposed to be doing with them. But like they're still like banning Penny every game. You know, like that's where they're at. And so like there's a huge disconnect on that like hero specifically. And a few heroes actually, but like that's another big one. But yeah, I literally I think it's whenever I don't think I've played against the Torch in weeks because it's banned every single time.
Yeah, literally every game. Yep.
It's just that also Torch needs a lot of resources. And if you give him the resources, he's Thanos. but in low ranks they don't understand that.
That's
So
true
even if they
too,
pick
yeah.
Torch, they just don't play around him, and then this character that can carry the game for you is just running around like a headless chicken, dying every fight. So it's just a very funny thing. The people in low rank don't understand how broken
Yeah.
Torch is.
Yeah.
There was a theory for a while in scrims that if you banned every support and left Torch open, that maybe Torch wasn't playable, right? No Snowflake, no Sue team up, all that kind of stuff. And then it just was proven to also just not be true. He is still Thanos.
Jesus.
But it is harder. It is a lot harder to play it, for sure.
Buffed in time for the movie. Conspiracy buffed for the Fantastic Four buff. Okay, so that leads me nicely actually to a general question I was going to ask anyways, which is just like the state of heroes in general, right? So you guys have already kind of earmarked Human Torch as an outlier. Like this hero
Yeah.
presumably needs some sort of rework, some sort of rethink, or just like a major tune down. Is there any other heroes that, good or bad, like it could be this hero is dumpster, please help this hero? Like what are some heroes that you just think really need looking at? We'll go with Flats first. Flats.
This is a hard question to answer because again, I also feel on the opposite end that there's a bunch of heroes that are like they don't really have a place, but that's okay. Black Widow's a good example. I don't think you can buff Widow. Like there's nothing to buff. Like you'd have to buff like really annoying like the melee aspect or like the kick. But even those are like if you ever like they're frustrating to play against in a weird way. But like you don't play against Widow so often. It's like whatever. But if you buff the shot where you're gonna headshot one shot, people are like, oh my god, don't do that. Other examples are like Witch, right? Like I think having a character that's kind of easy to get into, right? Like not like super high mechanical difficulty character is like good for a game like this, right? Like you can pick that character and get a bunch of damage and get a bunch of high numbers and like, you know, get a big team kill with your ult and like you have fun. It's great. That's awesome. And I think the Strange team up that they attempted has been like pretty good. Like you know, you bump into once in a while those like Strange or the Witch one tricks, and you get like, all right, fuck it, I'll play Strange, see what happens, like see if they're good. And you win a lot of those games. You know, like hell yeah, like I enabled that guy. That guy actually did pretty good. Like it's a good feels good moment. That being said, I don't think I'd want to buff any of them. Like I, for example, think like Fantastic isn't very good for multiple reasons, but like we had a Fantastic meta and it was, or not meta, but like when he was like really strong and ranked and it was ass. It was fucking dog shit. We did the same thing with Iron Fist. Remember Iron Fist was bad like when the game came out, but like all the support players like in like the metal ranks were getting run on. So they reworked him and then he wasn't very good. So they buffed him and he became like hard meta and ranked with like Cap. It was fucking awful, right? So it's like, I don't think the idea is to rework every single character in the game that feels annoying to play against. I think that's a Herculean task, and you will never make everyone happy. And I think on their current track of just releasing a new hero every month, you just fucking take the L's on certain heroes maybe, and if like they're real bad, maybe you can fix them, you know? But even like the Jeff rework is like an interesting one because like everyone's written Jeff off as just like absolutely horrible since the rework, and then we saw him get played a little bit in the tournament, and that was exciting. And it was like, holy shit! Like we get to see
won
Jeff
the
play.
tournament with Jeff.
Yeah,
they won. The team playing Jeff won.
Yeah, it's like holy shit! Like he works in certain situations. Then you see everyone go, "Oh, how dare these pros play Jeff? Now everyone's gonna be playing Jeff in my games." And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, how self-censored can you be? Anyways, and like. That's a good example where everyone writes it off, says it's horrible, and like the best players in the game found a place for him to work and win the biggest tournament of the game so far. So like, there's a possibility you were wrong, and I was wrong, or all of us are wrong. So sometimes you just gotta let it keep it moving. And I think with their current pacing of just like here every month, if there's a really bad one, just take the L, and then like either you just nerf it into the ground, we don't have to fucking see that shit anymore. Or like just buff him a bunch to give him a chance. And then if it ends up being annoying like another Iron Fist situation, fucking kick him to the curb and we just keep it moving, you know, and figure it out later. So I'm actually not like super like dissatisfied with a lot of the characters in the game. I think they all have something unique other than support healing circles, but like that's a different problem.
What about you, Aramori? Where do you think the outliers are? Who are the problem characters?
I really agree with what Flat said about I know agreeing is boring, but I really do agree with Black Widow. Like if you tweak her gun damage, she's already at the point where if you play her with a Mantis, she can just be server admin and just kill everybody on like really big maps. And we've seen that like in scrims and pro plate, and it's kind of scary. They're like it's actually a scary thing to think about. Like the game could be so different if they just tweak their damage just a tiny bit. Like I'm already quaking thinking about it. Like that is a reality I don't want to live in. So yeah, Widow, I think she is one change away from being the best hero in the game. So don't touch her, please. Don't touch her. And then yeah, I agree. I like Thor. I think maybe Boger brought up Thor. I think it's so sad. He's such like a cool character, and he's just kind of like sucks. Maybe just tweak him a little bit. Like he's got some cool combos, like the Luna damage boost, and his ult's cool. I don't know. What other heroes would I like to see played more? Rocket's
Magic.
annoying. No, not Magic. I'm actually good, thank you.
Magic. You buff Magic. 1,000 buffs for Magic.
I'm good, thank you. We play Magic sometimes, and yeah,
secret
to
Magic
break like
one-shot.
spawn holds,
Mhm.
it's actually really good. Like, so I think Magic again, if you tweak her, she could also be really really good. It's funny
Good.
you bring up Iron Fist because I actually really like the change that they gave him. They gave him like such a niche. It's his team up, I think. They gave him such like a niche
The
thing
healing
now where
one.
he's able to heal his team. Yeah, it's so
Mhm.
cool, and I think it's gonna be pretty broken. Maybe I could be wrong. Like I haven't got to Scrim yet since we've been back, but um, it's a really cool change. It's like I've heard some people in rank be like, Iron Fist heal me, Iron Fist heal me. He's like, I got you, bro. Like it's so funny. It's so unique, right? We don't really have a DPS character that could heal yet, right? Which I mean, like in Overwatch we had Soldier since the release, but this is new for Rivals. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I think with a new hero being added every single month, I don't think there's, again, like what Flat said, need to buff or change things too much. Like everything kind of feels fresh. Sometimes heroes are going to be a little stinky, smelly, maybe dog, but I think that's what it's going to be if they want to have like a huge roster like they're going to have.
Speaking of stinky, smelly, Boger, what are your problem heroes?
What the fuck?
Crazy transition.
Crazy transition.
Perfect.
Crazy transition.
Perfect.
Look, I'm an agent of chaos. I want everything nerfed. I want everything buffed because I'm just bored of the meta. And even though it's balanced and stuff, like I do want to see Thor more playable. That's for sure. I agree with Flats though. You don't buff and Armory. I don't want to buff the terrorist characters. Those characters stayed fucking away. Like I don't want Widow. Keep her away. I wanna, I kind of want to see a magic meta for a little bit. I want to see the support players. I just want to see cool players go fucking do their shit and then nerf her again. Iron Fist, get that guy out. That was boring, right? I just think there's some cool characters like Thor, for example. Maybe I don't want magic to be broken. I just want her to be slightly better, right? I would rather have a magic running around doing cool combos than a BP running around killing everyone.
That's actually true.
That's my
Yeah.
point. Like, there's a lot
Yeah.
of really cool Magic players that you're just getting terrorized so easily on Magic. Like, you can be easily shut down. It's kind of cool to watch, right? I think like in terms of divers, I think Magic is like the character for diving in the sense that she's the coolest. And I just wish I could see her more. I just wish the cool characters got more opportunity to showcase their kits, and for the players that know the kits to be showcased, and then the less cool characters can, as I said, just stay away, right? But we already talked about the balances. I just want to see the OP characters nerfed slightly, just just make it a little bit more varied, and just Luna Loki. Again, I'm gonna mention again, just please get these characters out. But I agree with Aramori, like every month we're getting a new character, so every month things are gonna be quite different. And I do enjoy the team ups. The new team ups I think are quite fun. They're quite creative actually. For the mid season. I do wish we had Strange Gamma back though. That was fun. Or Magneto Sword. That was fun as well. Like not the original version. Not the original. Not the original. I just liked the animation.
Flats, you were going to say something?
Flats was like, no. Flats
No,
like,
no, I agree with
don't
you.
like-
I kind of wish I don't know if they do. You think they ever plan on bringing back some old team ups?
Probably. They should. They should. Some of them are really cool. Like
Yeah.
Gamma Strange, Magneto Sword.
I'd be cool if there was one
Spire
season.
Venom.
Do you know? Hang
All
on,
the
question.
team ups.
Is there another? Are they making another like? I know there's like another big Marvel movie coming up with like Doctor Doom, but are they doing another version of like almost like the Avengers? You know, I don't know if there's one in the works, but like, what if that season they just brought back every single team up in the game, like all of them,
That'd be
and just
fun.
like everyone has like
I think-
3 team ups to be fucking just chaos. I'm so in for something like that.
Yeah, I'm down.
Have you
I
ever
think the Doom
played the
movie
thing
is
when he has
technically
like
a
every
Avengers
team
movie.
up?
No.
Wait, what?
He's got the thing. If you play him when he has
Oh,
every
yeah.
team up, he's got like 7 buttons.
It's actually
I
awesome.
want to see that. I want to see that.
I want to see that on everyone.
Yeah, same. I just want him to add a funny mode where he's just unbalanced as hell. Like, remember the Ultron mode? Everybody had like really broken abilities. I just want them implemented in the game. Like I remember what it was. I think Bucky kill threshold got increased every time he got a kill in the Ultron mode. I want to see that in an actual game. Or like Venom got larger every time like he
Yeah,
bit
that
like
was funny.
somebody. Yeah, so I just want a more casual mode where you can just like do silly stuff like that and add every team up and just make it chaos, and that'll be funny to like, because if you play the game a lot of ranked and you sit there and you're bored and you're tilted, you just go there and you like just do whatever.
So basically, like an April Fool's patch from our rivals, right? Like something like that.
League has Earth mode where they just do that exactly, like once in a while. I think that'll be fun.
Hmm. Yeah, and by the way, yeah, Flats, the Avengers movie. I think the Doom movie is an Avengers movie, I believe. So
Perfect opportunity.
Avengers-
maybe it's a
Yeah.
possibility. Quick before we move on, something that Flats brought up at the start, which is just like the hero release cycle, right? We kind of know it's locked in. It kind of sounds like you guys have already expressed your sentiment that like none of you are really fans of it. Maybe not to put words in anyone's mouth, but is there anything you want to add on that whole like stop locking in the hero cycle for like a year or change your approach? I'll take it to you first, Flats.
Oh no, hang on, let me clarify. No, I love it. I love that they're doing the hero every month. I
No, I
always-
mean because you said the plan that like they've already locked in who is going to
Oh.
be released.
Yeah.
I mean that's not really their fault though, right? Like you have to like most heroes take like a year plus or more to make, right? Like I'm assuming that their pipeline is similar to like Overwatch stuff because I learned about Overwatch stuff years ago, like so much about like how you make skins and whatnot. How long that like process takes to go through QA and making it. And I'm sure it's like not quite as long for Rivals because they don't have to make original characters. They can like obviously pull characters that already exist and take like, you know, like they kind of already know how their powers are going to work. They just have to like turn them into game mechanics. So it might be not quite as long, but they also do have to get Marvel approval as well. That being said, like they also do this thing where they tell a story every season, right? So they want the hero that comes out to align with the story. So like the battle pass skins are all going to be themed with the story, right? So all the art that's being made for the characters, sprays, emotes, whatever has to tie to that season. So it all has to get locked in like probably a year plus or more in advance to be ready to go, right? So like they can't, there's no way they can change that. And so the only way you could ever change that is like today being like, okay, like let's change that a year from now. Like that's already all set in stone. And I wouldn't even want to criticize it really because like we're only 2 heroes in, and I do still think they're gonna crash and burn eventually. I think we're gonna hit a point where the characters are gonna start getting released kind of half somewhat broken or like not like fully completed. Like it's gonna happen. There's no fucking way that it stays like as crisp as it has been so far. I'd love to be wrong on that though. I'd love to be. That being said though, I love this fucking format, dude, especially as a content creator or streamer. Dude, I get a hero event every fucking month. That is fire, right? And one of my biggest gripes with Overwatch for fucking years, Armory brought it up already, is like, you know how ass it was to get one character for your role per year? Because most players only play one role. Like they don't play a bunch of everything. Like they play either support, they either play DPS, or they play tank. Maybe like 1 or 2 in the other categories, right? But like you have to wait a fucking year to get one character. And what happens when that one character sucks balls? If you're a tank player, guess what? Not this past year, but the year before, guess what? You got fucking Mauga. You got Mauga as your new hero. Good fucking luck to you. Yeah. Have fun, buddy. Looking at the other tank going, ah! doing nothing else for literally 4 minutes straight. It's fucking. I wanted to fucking literally walk outside and fall off a cliff. Like it was the worst shit. And then guess what? Then like this year, then Hazard came out and he was better, but like he still kind of has a lot of those annoying elements as well. But like regardless of what happens if you go a year or 2 years without getting a single character that's interesting to you in your role, you go 2 years without content in a game that you like. That's horrendous.
That sounds horrible.
That's fucking dog shit. And so I'd rather the rival system where you might get some misses, right? You might have a character that's a bit of a miss. I'd argue Blade might be a bit of a miss. Blade just hasn't made much of an impact in a lot of the ranked games. Like, he doesn't feel that strong. Granted, I think that we haven't also figured out how to play him yet. Potentially, he ended up being like Wolverine or like Torch. Like, we just haven't figured it out yet. That's so like remains to be seen. But like at least early first impressions, didn't like his Blade, like his like actual melee form doesn't feel that strong. That could be changed. That could be changed in a month from now. But I'd rather that. I'd rather like a character come out and then like everyone's like, yeah, that character's not that great, and we're looking forward to the next one. And then by the time we get to the next one, people figure out the previous one. You're like, oh shit, the previous one's actually pretty good. So you actually almost get to get 2 characters at once because you start playing the old character and you get the new character at the same time. It's fucking content for days. It's all over the place. Like, that's fucking fire. I love that. Granted, though, obviously there's going to be problems in the future, but I think that the path that we're on, I would rather have the extra content and then have the problems in the future than waiting a year plus to get one hero that might not even be fun. And I also want to take that one step further and say that, like, yeah, I guess like some characters might be misses, and sometimes there might be ones that are broken, or they might just not be that fun, but that's okay. We can ban them. And then we're saved, and then we're good, and then we just keep it moving. And then you know what? We'll add more bans. If it gets to the future and like season 12 and 3 bans isn't enough, guess what? Now we're going to 4. And the ban system of this game is designed to save it. Yeah, you can just keep pushing that. You can keep kicking that can further down the road. The one thing I would say is like, if they actually fucked up and made like 12 DPS heroes that are coming out next, like, guys, like, who the actual fuck made that decision? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Like, who the fuck did that? But like, there's nothing we can do about that right now.
Okay, I appreciate that. Aramori, do you have anything to add on just the hero release cycle, the content release cycle? How you feel about any of this?
To circle back to like maybe the burnout that people are experiencing with like supports and all that kind of stuff, I do really hope that maybe not this cycle, maybe not the next cycle, but maybe the one after that, we get a new support hero. That would be really, really cool. I think Sue did a lot for support players. Oh, my light just fell. Did a lot for support players, and I think people really like her kit. It's really different. She's got a shield, she's got a push and a pull. It's really awesome. Her ult is still a healing circle, but it is a little bit different, which is kind of cool. So more characters like that, and then we got Ultron. Ultron also did a lot. Lots of DPS players said this character is awesome. Yeah, and he plays really fun. He's really different. He's good, right? Another support hero would be really great. Like, just pump some life into the role, please, God. Yeah, I really would like another support. I'm bored. I'm bored over here.
Do you think, because actually this brings up a good point, that Flats kind of made this point earlier, and there was a vague disagreement between Flats and Boger on this about adding more supports. Like, do you think that will add interest to the role, or is it just that it'll at least give support players something to do with their role rather than get bored and stop playing?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think like, yeah, it'll give people something else to like try and play and get used to, right? Which just makes it more fun, right? But I don't know, I lost my point. My brain is off. This light is bothering me so bad.
Well, you fixed your light, and also still appreciate that you're still here despite your jet lag. So the occasional lost train of thought is more than understandable. Boger, you now talk about support.
You now
talk.
What talk
now?
Boger, talk. I mean, do you think the support role, like if you added a few more heroes, it might be a bit healthier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course. I think with Ultron, I'll be honest here, I don't think this character is a support character, I'll be honest. Like, because if you, for example, take like Fan, for example, you already mentioned Fan.
Nah, she
like
kick ass on Ultron.
no, but my point is she doesn't like that kind of playstyle. A lot of people really like that playstyle of like no like the cloak and dagger Luna. Like the people just like like being bots and just heal maxing and like as she likes to call it being a heal slut. And like a lot of the players are used
Yeah,
to that.
push,
So
push
when
that
you
on her. Push that on her, Booger. Push
no,
that
that's
term on
her
her.
word.
No, her
that's
words, guys. Her words to me was being a
No, that's
pocket.
her
Like,
words.
yeah, you know, I'm gonna keep that
Yeah.
on myself.
Yep.
She, that's her words. She likes being a pocket pussy. Those are her words verbatim.
Verbatim.
Like I'm not pushing any agenda here. That is quite literally what she says. Right. So like I feel like she expressed a lot like for like this particular player. They enjoy this particular play style because they don't have to like you don't have to ultimately think too much and you still can do really cool stuff. And it's just really good for the casual player base. And then you add Ultron and people are like, oh my god, new support. It's nothing like that, which is okay. I don't mind it. But that character is quite legitimately just a DPS character that has a small healing ability, right? So like I don't like even in ranked, you're not gonna put the support player on Ultron. You're gonna put the DPS player on Ultron, and probably in scrims as well, right? So I have a few
Yeah.
like it's quite legitimately been only Invisible Woman in terms of supports released since the beginning of the game. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That is insane. Like genuine, like oh my, it makes my brain rot. Like the fact that they released only Invis when their player base has so many support players. So like I don't know what their plans are for the future, but they have to add more supports because I feel like especially the casual player base, especially streamers, so many of them love playing support. And like yeah, it's not gonna help, like it's not gonna convert people to more support, but more support players out of boredom are gonna start playing different roles and just doing like it just keeps getting more and more like less and less supports because people are just bored from playing support, right? Because there's no new toys to play with because people ultimately get bored really fast. So once they start adding more supports, I feel like you're gonna see way more people being like, oh my god, I'm gonna play more support, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, you know, maybe Luna isn't that boring. I now feel like a little better because, for example, if I'm one tricking Emma every day for a week, I'm gonna get so bored of Emma. But then if I one trick Groot for a week, I'm gonna be like, damn, I miss Emma. But for fucking support, you can only one trick Luna or Loki 90% of the time, so you're always gonna be bored, and like pisses me off, right? And like because like what is the like it is so stupid. I think there's like 9 support characters, and one of them is Ultron. Like you have 8 support characters basically. And I know, like like for tank, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'll be honest. I think tank has a pretty big variety of characters you can play if Emma is banned. But like support, you're just stuck. You support, you're actually just so fucked. And you can see the frustration for everybody that plays support. Like Kaiji, he's permanently tilted because he can only play Luna and or Loki, but he doesn't really play Loki, so he's just stuck there. And it just sucks because I want people to have fun and I want people to play the game differently and I want people to enjoy the game and be less depressed. And yeah, and even if at the end of the day we nerf Loki Luna, you're just gonna like you're just gonna have like 7 supports to play. Like we like you just need to add more options. Like again, like we just keep going back to it, and I know they know, and we have mentioned before. They just like I swear to God, if we don't get a support anytime soon, I'm actually crashing out. Like it is so stupid, right? And one thing that I do want to mention that Overwatch does better is just support. So Overwatch does support so much better than Rivals, and you can see it because there's a lot bigger support community in Overwatch than there is in Rivals.
Boger wanting to spark the rival Overwatch comment attacking
Yeah.
each other, chat
You know,
I do.
into life.
Honestly, it's funny because I agree with you, but I also like don't. Hear me out. Okay?
Let's fight.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I think you're objectively correct, but I think Rivals specifically being a more casual game actually works better not going that route. Because Overwatch support is like a pseudo DPS. Most of the supports in Overwatch are literally DPS who heal. And like in Rivals, they're much more heals with like other like little bits of DPS mushed in, right? And as you were saying about Fan, right? I think that a lot more of the casual players probably at this point, or people that maybe got into Rivals, right, that like never played Overwatch or only played Overwatch a little bit, enjoy that like more healy play style as opposed to being like you have to go for flanks, you have to go for kills, you have to go. They want to turn their fucking brain off and they want to heal their tanks, and that's how they play the game. You know, like that's what they love to do. And you're right though, like there hasn't been one since Invis. They haven't had a new turn your brain off and heal your tank's character since Invis, potentially, right? Like obviously there's more to it, right? Like I'm making it very simplistic. But like Overwatch's new hero that just came out, or the just playtest Wu Yang, is basically Zenyatta, where you put a orb on, you put your wave on someone, and then you can juice it up like Mercy Beam it, but only to that person. And then he does like he has an orb where like he throws it out and you charge it, and so after it goes a certain distance, it becomes like empowered, and then you can like guide it, and it does much more damage. And he's literally a DPS character, right? Like he's a DPS character who also heals. He has some smaller cooldowns, like, but it's like a 12-second cooldown for like his wave that like goes out, and it like gives like the Ana grenade stat where like you get 50% extra healing, right? And it also gives like a small boop if they're close, but like it falls off the further you are. And like it feels as a kit really good. He feels really fun, but he's not like a healer. He's a support for sure. And if anything, it's like a main support, but like not a main healer. It like he doesn't do a ton of healing. He does a lot of supporting and does a lot of damage. And I think Rivals is kind of going the opposite way, or I think they should go the opposite way, where characters are more heal focused with support aspects built in, as opposed to being hybrid DPS.
Yeah.
Because like if you want to play a hybrid DPS, play Overwatch. And I think that Overwatch being 9 years old, the skill ceiling is so fucking high that like it's hard to get into. It's funny, we actually had this argument on the other podcast about how Overwatch, and some people, everyone thought it was really easy to get into Overwatch opposed to other games, which I disagreed with. But like I think the game is hard to get into, and like you have to do so much more as a support player in Overwatch than you do in Rivals, and I think people enjoy the healing aspect more. Then because like that's what you do, like you pick healer to heal, right? Like we call it support, we call it strategist, and like, but like realistically it's healing, right? Like you play healing originally, like when you're first thinking about it, like we need a healer, right? Like that's why all the bronze players are like, when they talk about we need characters, we need a tank, we need a healer, right? Like, you know, obviously as you get better you evolve and you understand that more, but I actually want to see Rivals do more of those. I think another Luna, another Invis, another Cloak and Dagger would hit way harder than another Ultron, another Atom. I think it would hit way harder. I don't know.
Well, before I allow Boger to respond, Aramori, as the support player in the call, why did you gravitate towards support in Marvel Rivals?
Well, I played it in Overwatch. I mean, that's the simple part of it, right?
Okay, well let's track it back one. Why did you play support in Overwatch?
Because nobody else would. I'm just like all those other support players, all the casual support players. I have to do it because nobody else will. No, I like it. I think it's fun. I mean, I played Ana in Overwatch, right? Which is literally like the one of the most like I guess out of the roster, right? Like one of the more sit back, shoot, heal your team,
Thanks, 17
throw
months.
shit,
Appreciate it.
chill kind of support. I mean, I guess it's not anymore, but like kind of it was. I don't know. I don't play Overwatch anymore. Shoot me, kill me.
Well, do you kind of know which
purples.
direction you want? Right? Do you know which direction you want the rival supports to go? Do you kind of think more heal bot, or do you want to add some support?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was getting there. I promise. Yeah, I do think that Rivals in general, just with the way higher health pools and like having, I don't know, crazy amounts of just damage in the game, like I think way more than Overwatch. Like I think Overwatch you die a lot faster, but Rivals is a lot more like push and pull and like healing and whatever. I do think it's very interesting that Overwatch went with eventually we got to the point where like, okay, you need like an Ana character or a Baptiste character, and then you need like a Lucio, right? You don't need an Ana and a Baptiste. Maybe that's changed, maybe that's wrong now, but it's like you need like one guy who really heals, and then you need a guy that kind of like gives utility, and that's kind of like what people went with for a long time. But in Rivals it's like the opposite. You need both guys who can heal because there's so much damage and healing just getting exchanged back and forth, that utility is kind of it's okay, it's good to have. Like Loki's immortality is fantastic, right? But you can't play Mantis in like a double support comp because she just doesn't do enough. She has so much utility. She helps your DPS like crazy. She does her own amount of damage, right? But you just can't play her with like Luna because it's just not enough. Like you're not going to be able to keep your Groot up. Your Groot will die. Luna solo heal with Mantis, your Groot will die. So I think it is fun for like casual players to just kind of like sit back, shoot their guns, heal. And I said this before on another podcast we have. It's like I think casual players want to do this thing where they just sit back, they stand behind their tanks, and that's their game. That's their mini game is they heal the people that get low, they stand back. If people dive on top of them, they don't like that. Don't like that. Just play the game, shoot the people in front of you, and like if they die, they die. That's the game that I think casual players like to play. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think trying to add characters that help people do that is totally fine. It's totally fine. People like it. People enjoy it. I also like to sit back and shoot my gun and not get dove. That's fucking fantastic. Like, give me more of that.
Say that again.
It's if I don't have to do anything crazy, shoot, I'll take the free win. Shoot, yeah. But yeah, more characters that actually do the healing role would be really nice. But I do want to see some like utility with it. Like I think Sue's shield in of itself is such a unique ability that there's so many like little nuanced things you can do with her, even with like her stealth and like things like that. I would like to see more of that. Even like the overhealing that Iron Fist got, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wish we had a support that could do that. That would be kind of nice. But we don't have anything like that right now. Maybe they should just add a support that like wall rides and like gives speed boost. That'd be kind of crazy.
Maybe armor packs if you want overhealing. I think some like extra armor that like stays on. I think that'd be a
Yeah,
fantastic idea for the state of our rivals.
maybe like a melee support. That would be cool. Yeah.
That might be cool. Okay, I'm going to take it back to Boger in a second for now that he's heard the other two, how he feels about sort of what kind of supports he wants in the game. But before I do, I should I'm reminded that I should apologize on behalf of Fan Armori and Boger to all the parents listening to this podcast on
Sorry.
their TVs and suddenly had to yell, Alexa, please press pause on the podcast when they described a certain term. So for all the people who want the family-friendly podcast, I apologize. This ain't going to be the place. So Boger, having heard the other two now, how do you feel about like what do you want to see in the support role? Do you still say actually more utility, or you're like actually I'm convinced let's get some
No.
heal bots?
No, we need heal bots for sure. I agree with Flats. I don't disagree with that, because people are used to that. But I also think you should have some, like with this fucking release cycle of 12 characters a year, you can definitely like vary it a bit. Like you can add heal bots, you can add some Chungus bots, you can some wall riding bots, you can do whatever you want, right? So no, but you definitely need more heal bots for sure because like that's what people are used to and that's what people want. But I also think the reason why people need so much healing in the game is quite genuine because people are still really bad at rivals, like including me, including like a lot of people. Like I think people just walk down main. Nobody's thinking about positioning. Nobody's thinking about like taking chip damage. Nobody like people are used to getting so much healing, right? And support ults are so strong, like Luna ult and stuff, and like DPS ults are obviously very lethal, a lot more lethal than Overwatch. But like nobody actually actively thinks about how they're gonna peek a corner most of the time because in Overwatch, I don't know if you ever like Flats has for sure, but like returning to Overwatch after playing rivals for a lot of time, you're actually just like you peek and you're dead instantly. Like you're so I'm so brain
the
rotten from
TTK
the
is
amount of
crazy.
healing. Yeah, I'm so brain rotten from rivals healing that if I play Overwatch and I peek for a millisecond, I'm just dead, right? Because I'm like, oh, why am I not getting healed? Well, I won't get healed because that's not how the game works, right? So in that sense, I think Rival is just very much in its infancy in a lot of ways, especially in ranked. I think pro plays, improving like drastically. And they're like you can see actual coherent team plans and strategies and like varied comps. People like in the Ignite tournament, there were a lot of comps that weren't just Luna Loki, like especially because they were getting banned, but also they could have played like two main supports, but they didn't. Like you saw Jeff, you saw some other weird stuff. I can't name everything, right? But there was all varied things, and I think anything can work really as long as you have the team for it. But I just like I believe for the support role, I agree with Flats. I don't disagree. I just think you can add some more, Chungus bots that heal a lot, but you can definitely add some more Mantises, more Adams, more unique designs. Maybe, wall riding character isn't the worst thing. It doesn't have to be a wall riding character, but you can add something similar, right? So just you can add some variety in my opinion. And the game definitely needs more support.
Maybe like a character that throws like a milk bottle on the floor and then like
Mm.
becomes intangible. I think it seems pretty reasonable to me.
Oh, that's a pretty good idea, actually.
Hit me up, my rivals devs. I got like 30 ideas for you. They may seem vaguely familiar, but I promise they're fire. They're fire. Okay, well you actually mentioned there, Boger, the pro play aspect, which is perfect to segue into what I feel like I've been blue balling Armory over for a while, which is talking about pro play. So obviously I'm going to take it to you first, Armory. What is the state of professional Marvel Rivals gaming? How would you describe it?
The state of professional Marvel Rivals gaming. I think we're in a really good spot where, I mean, we touched on it earlier. Nothing is stale because we have a different banning system. And the banning system makes it so you can ban 4 heroes for each team. I think it's 4. Could be wrong. And they're unique to each team. So Team A bans 4 heroes for Team B bans 4 heroes for Team A. So you're constantly in like different matchups, like you're constantly playing different things like map to map. A lot of times like in matches you'll go, okay, that comp didn't work. Okay, let's ban something else and try and pivot and try and play this other style, right? And it's super fresh. Every single scrim is something different. It also makes it really challenging, right? Like you spend 4 hours of your day playing this type of style, type of comp, and then you spend the last 2 hours of, hey, okay, well this team doesn't ban that line at all, so we're playing something completely different, and maybe you won't see that again for another 2 weeks when you scrim them again, right? So it's a really, really fun and refreshing game, and it's such a breath of fresh air from scrimming on Overwatch where everything was the same, and if you didn't play the mirror comp you were probably going to lose, or you had to like flank and play really crazy and try and make like crazy plays all the time because your comp was just worse, right? It's so nice, thank god it's so nice. And I mean, it's not a surprise to anyone, right? Like we've had like promises of like more events and stuff, and obviously they haven't said anything outside of that, at least to me. I don't know what's going on, but there's more things coming in the future, which is nice. Like the money's there, it seems to be. And even when we
Goodness
were
no
on
buffs.
yeah, yeah. Woohoo! And even when we were on campus, like we got to see the NetEase campus, and it's huge, right? Like it is like a mall in of itself. Um,
Bro, it's actually insane. They have coffee shops, obviously. They have like multiple gym facilities. They have their own like shop, like where you buy like a store brand that is NetEase's, like where they sell
like a
necessities.
souvenir shop
They have a
or something.
souvenir shop. It is insane. It is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's just crazy. So the money's there, and they're like willing to like put it in. I don't know, call us shills or what, but I think right now it's in a really good spot. Um, they've even got like their own little path to pro thing set up. Like the in-game tournament leads directly into qualifiers for you to play in Ignite, which is like the tier 1 tournament. So it's set up in a really, really nice way. Right now I have nothing to complain about, honestly.
Oh
W
damn, that
NetEase, W Guang
that
Guang, W Aramori, L Necros. So
he said
SB
the
doesn't
checks.
know the me.
You know what? I don't need to know the meme. Anything that says L Necros, I'm behind 100%. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
It was just because we were doing the watch party and everybody in chat was W Guangguang, W Jiong, W Netis, L Necros. And that's what they typed. And that's all they typed. And I was like, all right.
That's awesome.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that. No, I think that kind of precedes the question I was going to ask you, which is that if you had any complaints. So it's already good to hear that you don't have any complaints. So you kind of are so happy with the pro level, and I think the idea of asymmetrical bans at pro level is amazing. I think I
It's
really
so
like
smart.
that. I think that at
so
ranked
good.
it's like a whole other thing. It would be a complete mess. But I think like it's just forcing teams to be more intelligent that way. Anytime you can add strategy at the pro level, I think it makes for a better esport. Like makes for a more dynamic experience. So like I think that's a very, very smart decision. Bogart, do you see any ways from the outside that maybe the pro play
Mm.
could be improved? Like you're like, actually I'm not a fan of this.
Well, I think pro play is pretty sick in Rivals, I'll be honest. I think for such an early the game being so early, like so like in its infancy, and the way they've been handling the esports pretty cool with a LAN event and already a massive prize pool and the
Mm.
bans, asymmetrical bans, right? Like every your bans only affect the enemy team, and a lot of people are always confused when they happen. But I think that's really cool. I really like it. And I think the natural progression of the game into the future will be that the game will more and more resemble a MOBA in terms of bans. You're gonna have 10 bans, 4
Yeah.
protects, and you're gonna be like that will be the main content. Because if you screw up your bans, you lose the match, right? So and I'm down for it. I think I'm okay with it. I think it's fun. Um, I honestly don't even know what to complain about with pro play, because even if you're a brand new team, you can still make it. Like Berber Patapim, they just a bunch of friends made it to LAN, and they were a pretty good team, and they practice. Rad, again, like a bunch of like ranked gamers just gathered together and won the Ignite tournament. Like it's great, like that's what I like. It's pretty competitive, and everybody gets a chance to shine.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a
Oh,
controversial opinion.
actually,
Oh, go ahead.
I think yeah, okay. There somebody brought it up in chat. Team comps would be funny sometimes to bring it up when showing, and I think actually for pro play, I think hero shooters are so hard to spectate. I wish they would more focus on somebody's POV. I know you want to showcase everybody playing the game, but I would rather
Yeah.
have a few people they focus on, because it is unbearable to watch. Like me, Fanfan, Lulu, SK, Necrus would watch, and obviously Fanfan isn't that much into the game. Like she plays the game a lot, but she's not really high ranked. She got so confused of all the POV swaps. Like she was like, "What the hell is going on?" Right? So there is definitely work to be put in and understanding how to make the game watchable for a more casual audience. Because when they keep swapping the teams POVs and the players POVs, it is a mess. You have no idea what's happening.
Yeah,
I feel
and
like
that's go ahead.
also, oh,
Armor.
sorry. In
No, you go.
that same vein, they're so afraid to like spectate strategist players because maybe it's like boring. But honestly, and this is from like this is something I know from like Overwatch time before replay viewers. If you're watching your support player, that's the easiest POV to understand what's going on because they're at the back. They can see everything in front of them. Like there's a reason that a lot of support players are like they're the IGLs. They're like they call a lot for the team because they can see everything. And I feel like the Marvel's people are, what do you call it? The
Casters, analyzers,
y-
observers.
Spectators.
Spectators.
observers. That's the word. Thank you. I feel like they're really afraid to spec the strategist and only want to focus on like making plays because that's cool, right? It is really cool. But I feel like in the downtime, that's what they need to do. They need to like just please just watch your strategist players, see what's going on, and then when the fight actually starts, yeah, that then you can watch the guys that shoot their guns and make awesome plays. Sure. But yeah, stop moving around too much. I don't know. As somebody who plays the game a lot, it's like what is happening? Okay, they're okay. I feel like we're missing a lot of details. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, spectating in a game like Marvel Rivals is always going to be inherently hard. I think like
Yeah.
you
It
kind of
is.
probably you probably need to forego capturing everything and instead try and capture a narrative, which is really tough, I think, because it requires like a seamless understanding between the observers and the casters, and like
Mm.
the observers have to know the game at such a level that they anticipate that like this is what's going to happen at this next
Yeah.
moment, or most likely, of course, things are gonna go out of your system, but like
Yeah.
you kind of need to understand. I think in this next fight we need to see this, which is incredibly hard. Like I'm saying it as if it's easy. It's incredibly hard, but like I think that's something that can always be leveled up in a game like this, especially if you can get, as obviously Marvel Rivals is very new, but if you can get like a former pro player on the obs desk, on the like analyst desk, on the caster desk, that always helps because they will know this is what's about to go down probably.
Yeah. And I think that's actually something that at the start of Overwatch, actually Overwatch also struggled with a lot. Is they were kind of focusing on the wrong things, and I think over time it got better. Like it got a lot better. Overwatch esports is a joy to watch, honestly. Like they had a tournament recently and we were watching it in China. Like, why not? It's fun to watch.
Broke the shield contract. Broke the shield contract so
That
hard.
wasn't a part of our contract, Armory. That wasn't a part of what we got paid for.
You sleep in with your
Sorry.
ex in your marital bed. In your marital bed.
Truthfully. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
I'll take it to flats. My bad. Won't happen again. Flats. How do you feel about the professional level? Is there anything you see that you're kind of like? I know it seems like they're doing a good job, but like, is there anything you think that like maybe they could improve this?
All right, I'm gonna rip it from a point of love. Ready? Number one, the viewing experience is kind of dog shit, which we already kind of went over a little bit with just like them jumping around constantly. I found myself having to explain consistently what was happening to chatters, just like whether from the ban system, which obviously figured it out, but like I would have to literally tell people like what was happening off screen sometimes because the observers would just straight up miss it. Or like important things that were coming up that were just not getting highlighted unless like, you know, unless the casters were highlighting it. Like if they didn't highlight it, like it was just missed. I think that unfortunately hero shooters are very fucking hard to be an esport. And considering Overwatch literally threw millions of dollars at the problem and still failed, I'm a little bit worried with Rivals because Rivals took all of Overwatch's problems with spectating and turned it up to 11. There's so much flashing lights, healing, damage, everything's exploding on the screen. You have no idea what the fuck is happening 95% of the time. I think one of the easiest ones they could do is literally just steal the 2019 Overwatch League viewer, whereas like you can let everybody watch their own POV and let spectators choose who they want to watch. Take that one step further, you could even do the old ALGS model, which was basically every player is streaming their own POV, and then you could have a viewer where you literally can jump around and hear everyone's comms, you can hear what they're talking about, you could literally just like basically be in their PC watching what they're doing. Granted, I know teams in broadcasts are super afraid of players' voices being on broadcast. I think it was a lot of times cope under like, oh, we don't want to leak our strats. No, I think that sometimes we all know what it actually is. But it would be good for players because it builds a brand with them. It's good with viewers because it builds a connection to those teams, to those players. And it starts to give you not just like a faceless, unfortunately, and a lot of times emotionless esports degen player who's like, this is your first time you've ever seen the guy before and he's standing on stage and he walked out and did like a little, and then that's it. Like it's hard to have a lot of times like building connection. Like if you look back to like 2016, there's actually, it's funny, I've talked to him about it. Seagull went omega viral in China in 2016 because there was a China LAN and he walked out on stage and they have to do like a walkout and he walked out and there's a famous clip of him going like the Hanzo bow, and like it's such a famous clip now, and like it went omega viral. He had like 800,000 followers on like Bilibili or whatever their social media is within 6 hours. And all I did was just like they just posted their time in China and it was unbelievable. And unfortunately, and I honestly, Armor, you've done a good job with this, so I'm going to put you are actually not included in this specifically. A lot of esports players are just fucking borderline boring as shit. There's no personality. There's nothing there. Like they've got nothing. And unfortunately, for a entertainment business, you have to have something. You have to have either people that are like engaged with the people that are in it, right? Like whether it's quote drama, which I'm not saying for, but like drama with it, whether it's just like they care about like what they're talking about, what they're doing, teammates, you know, interactions with other teams, shit talk, whatever, or a really good viewing experience, which I would say is like CS is a good example, like timeless game. Everyone kind of knows how the game works. It's very seamless to watch, right? Or you have a lot of legacy with it, like League of Legends, stuff like that, where you make it a big spectacle like Worlds. Rivals doesn't have the sauce yet, unfortunately. I have not seen the sauce. I'm going to be fully transparent with you. I think if there wasn't drops and a bunch of streamers that were co-streaming it, whether for the drops or sponsored, that event would have went so under the radar and like wouldn't have caught mainstream almost anywhere. Which is, granted, it's their first event. And obviously, I mean, you guys actually might know the reason. There was no paid tickets to the event. Like, it was only friends and family, I believe. And in China, so it was happening at fucking 10 p.m. on EST time for me till like 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning. I couldn't watch all the games. I'd run out of gas at like 3 a.m. So, like, for a game that is mostly Western faced, because to my knowledge, maybe this has changed, but to my knowledge, Rivals is not hitting China and Korea.
No, it's not.
So this game is
not.
heavily Western focused. So having the event in China was cool, but like,
do you think it?
Unfortunately, it shouldn't have been on China time zone.
Spectate of S, or has that
it should have been
done?
on. Sorry, I have a TTS going in my ear. My bad. I'll come back to that in a sec. There was. It should have either been on a friendly EU/NA time, or they need to have new tools for you to spectate, because like I know it's incredibly, like, even getting one pro player to sit in the observer room and like point to different things, I bet they still couldn't do it. I really don't think they could. Like, yeah, you would be better at anticipating incoming plays, but you would still miss shit. And I think also, like, the jumping around is really difficult. And when somebody watches a streamer play, it doesn't look like pro play, and they're like, holy shit, this is just a different level. And like, it is. And like, no disrespect, but like, watching like the two Chinese teams, it looked like my ranked games. Like it didn't look that much crazier. Like, their coordination was not insane compared to like NA and EU playing later on. And so like, I felt like, oh, I could keep up with that. Like, not like play it, but you know what I mean? Like, I could watch it super, super simply, because the speed was much slower. And like, if you give people the ability to watch certain POVs, that's what people watch esports for originally, right? They want to get better a lot of times. That's what brings them in, is like, oh, what are they doing? And then they watch, like, oh, I want to see the support players. What do they do? And then they watch them for a while, and then eventually they're like, oh shit. Like, there's like, especially for a lot of players, like, there's not many women players in esports. They go, oh my god, like, who is this girl? Like, she plays support and she's a pro player. That's fucking cool. And then she watches Armori's POV for the whole game. And then later on, they're like, huh, like, I wonder if she streams. And then they look at her streams later, they go, oh shit, she streams. And then comes to watch your streams, which is good for you. But it'd be good for every player. It'd be good for everyone, right? To build those storylines, build those teams up. And unfortunately, at the moment, the only thing, in my opinion, that's propping the whole thing up is legitimately just straight up fucking cash. Granted, they still got plenty of time to figure it out, and I think they will, if they actually start implementing these systems. But they're already really behind with a game like Rivals, where it's in the hero shooter category. It's really difficult. And also, you're coming in at a time, in my opinion, a lot of casual gamers hate pro play because they believe it is the root of all of their problems in the game. And like other games, they think like, oh, they cater to pro players, that's why they've ruined my game, blah, 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 right? And so even hearing about pro play and Rivals, I said this started about 3 or 4 months ago. I started seeing it with like, oh, they're going to make pro play in this game. They're going to ruin it. That's going to ruin this game. They're going to ruin it everywhere. So you have a lot of factors fighting against you. So you can't just do one of these things right. You have to do all of them. Can Rivals do it? Remains to be seen.
Yeah. I mean,
You want
a
a
lot of
fun
good
fact
points.
about China?
Yeah.
I talked
From
to
the
some
page
Chinese.
shill himself.
I talked to some Chinese players. You know what they've peaked in terms of ranked in China?
This is what I was gonna
GM1.
bring up.
GM1. There's only one person that's peaked eternity.
What?
Yep.
Nobody plays the game.
There's not enough
Yeah.
people, so there's
There's
like
not
no
enough
celestial.
people queuing up. Yeah, there's no celestial. Only one person got to
Yeah.
eternity. That's it. Last season.
Yeah,
And,
I was gonna bring that up too.
Do we
Yeah,
know
nobody
why it
plays the game
failed?
in China?
Yeah, because
I-
like
I
Overwatch
don't
wasn't
know.
back yet.
Mm-mm. I have no idea. I
At least I don't
have no
think.
idea, genuinely. No, it wasn't out when Rivals came out, I'm pretty sure. But because they stopped Overwatch was not out in China because they stopped the contract that they had with, again, I think it was NetEase again,
Yeah.
right? Or
Well, they had.
Tencent?
I think they had a different
that
company
was it
before.
Tencent, maybe.
It's NetEase now.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
NetEase now. But yeah, I think so. But my point is that nobody actually plays the game in China, so the Chinese time zones are pretty cooked. But I think what they were trying to do for the first LAN was do it on home turf so they can minimize costs, so they can test the waters and see how it is. But granted, it is not a good example of how it actually would be if it was in a schedule, because even for me, and like everybody else starting their stream, we would start our stream in the worst times for us. Like everybody in NA is sleeping, everybody in EU is sleeping, like 10, 11 a.m. China time, and it's like that's when the tournament is starting as well, right? So nobody actually that wanted to watch the games would actually be able to watch the games. People had to watch VODs or YouTube videos or something else, and it just kind of sucks, right? So I think probably the next one will be in America, and I'm excited for that one because I think it will be a better example of how the game will do esports wise and what its actual viewership is and what crowd it's going to attract, because I think the crowd will be a lot bigger than in China, because in China you couldn't get a ticket in the first place. It was all in netties. But I think the stage was still fun. I think quite genuinely, again, I think it's testing the waters and also testing how it would look like and just testing a bunch of stuff. Like I think it was like quite legitimately just seeing how it would look like in when they start moving into an actual audience with tickets in NA where the main focus is. But again, Rivals is kind of a joke in China, like quite legitimately. Like all of the Chinese players and all of the Chinese, we met some Chinese streamers and stuff. They said nobody cares about this game here.
So wait, why do they play it
I mean,
then?
look,
Who?
Those players.
These people?
Yeah, they
I
just
know
like
just
it,
a
or
few of them. I
okay.
don't know. I guess so. I haven't asked them, but like I know, like again, it was a one content creator. I think he brought like he was asking me like I was doing like some content thing for his stink, and like he told me about the fact that nobody has peaked eternity, everybody's
Yeah.
GM, and then some other streamer cosplayer. She said that like this game just does like it's not popular in China at all, right? So I don't know why they play, but it is quite true. The game is quite literally just big in America, quite like, and maybe West Europe, but not quite as big as in America.
look, all I'm gonna say is we are in no position to ask someone else why they play a dead game, right?
Yes, yes.
We of
No,
all people.
but it goes back to me and Flats at Blizzard. Like when the Koreans were asking us if we really play Marvel Rivals, they were so shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the game is just not big in Asia in general.
There's a lot of interesting points brought up there. I think the other thing I want to maybe go back to, and I want to take it to Aramori about this, is the idea of like esports as a spectacle and esports players as entertainers, right? Because I think like that's
Mm.
something that esport in general has struggled with. I think the only time in my memory, again, I follow a few different esports, but the only time in memory that this really worked out well was like season 1 Overwatch League, when it was like all the streamers signed to Dallas Fuel, and it was like Seagull and XQC in one team with like I think like Mickey and a couple other people. So like that was like when everyone was a Dallas Fuel fan, because it was like these are the biggest streamers who are now professional players, and that had some like narrative and hype. But since then, obviously, for obvious
Did they
reasons, pro
win?
teams. No,
No.
they sucked
No.
ass. They sucked
Yeah.
ass.
Okay. Okay.
They eventually
That's what I
got
thought.
good when they signed actually good players. No disrespect at all to
That was
the
actually
Dallas
so
Fuel
much
roster.
worse than anyone knows either too. Like that was actually like that was omega fucked. Like not my story to tell though, but
So the point I was trying to make with that is that since then, teams, organizations have gravitated towards hiring the best players, which makes absolute sense if you want to win. But do you see Aramori, like a reason to create more teams that are personality focused, or B, do you see a way to make the players more personable to the public?
I think the healthiest thing that any hero shooter could do is go back to the 2019 Overwatch League all access viewer thing that they did on Twitch, where it was like, if you want to watch a POV, you can go and watch that POV. That was the most hype, most fun, I think, as a viewer, I think anyone's ever had in hero shooters. They had the perfect formula, and then for some reason it's just gone. I don't know why,
well, they went to YouTube.
but
That's what it was. YouTube paid them a bunch of money.
Yeah, it was
yes.
YouTube.
But then they have the option now to like do it again, and I don't know why they aren't. So I don't know. Anyways, that formula, that was it. That was the sauce. It was really cool. And I know Flats was saying like, oh, we could even do it with comms, right? Okay, maybe some people wouldn't want to do that. Maybe a player could opt in and say, oh yeah, I'll have my comms on or something like that. That would be really, really cool. But as for like pushing personalities and stuff, I don't think it makes sense for an org to maybe it makes sense for their brand, but it definitely does not make sense for the esport to just pick up personalities. It's never gonna work. I feel like if you just pick up somebody for personality, you're just gonna flop, and that's just how it is. Like it
Pick up
sucks.
Necros.
Yeah, yeah, that'll go well. Um, it's
Do
just
do
it's
like
just never
the
gonna work.
do like the Overwatch League chips out version where you just like sub him in for one game. He like
Yeah.
comes on
Just
Yeah.
last
watch him
5
play
minutes, wins,
Spider-Man.
and
Yeah,
then it's
I
just
was
like
literally
100
thinking
percent win
that.
rate.
I do think that some players are just shy. I don't know. Like I was talking to my chat about it while we were on this topic, but I literally was talking to one of my teammates, Techie, and I was like, you need to be a person. You need to say more than 2 words to your chat when you stream and be engaging and try. And he was like, yeah, I know. But it's just their personalities, right? Like these kids essentially just sit on the game for 12 hours straight and that's all they do and they just grind ranked and they're good, right? But I don't
Well,
know.
okay,
They don't really
again,
know how to talk
you're
to
right. A
people.
lot of these people there were just children. Like a lot of them were like teenagers.
Yeah.
Like Paulie, he's 17, and I'm
I mean,
pretty
it's the
sure
same in
Tanuki is
Overwatch.
also. Yeah, yeah. My point is like, um, it's hard to have a personality that's like really explosive, and like know how to work a crowd, especially because you're very anxious first time on stage, right? So it's gonna take some time, I guess, and teams are gonna have to work on it, obviously, because
Yeah.
I do think it's important. Because like I don't play League, but I know about Faker, type stuff. Like it's just you need Faker of Rivals, you need Faker of any game really, because it's cool to talk about. It's a legend, it's a myth, and
The
having
goat.
personality,
Yeah.
it quite legitimately, right? Everybody knows about Hide on Bush and like all of these memes. It's just like so important to have stuff like this.
And
Yeah.
if we don't get the 2019 Twitch viewer, the other best thing we could do is have the in-person. Every match was like in person for a while, and they had like fans that could come in, and that was amazing for the health of like Overwatch League. When I think it was season 1, right, where they had
Yeah,
everybody in
yeah, yeah.
person. That was awesome. That was so cool, and you could meet the players after. Like, I never got to go, but I heard it was great, right? Like, and that helped a lot. You had the players walk out every time their match was on, walk past all the fans. They all did their silly, goofy things. It was fantastic, right? I think people reminisce a lot about those days, and then they decided to do whatever they did, travel, whatever, and then it flopped, whatever. But that was fantastic. Having everybody in person in one location and getting to see the fans all the time. Do it. Do it. Do it, Nutties. Do it. I dare you.
Well, the thing is, I think a lot of these are general esports problems, and I think that's where like
Mm.
just pure speculation, pure if reality was no object. It's like if you could pump the kind of money that like real sports have in, right? Because the problems of, let's say, a 17-year-old who has no personality, with no disrespect, like, a lot of gamers are just guys who game all day, right? They're just people who game all day. They don't go outside, they don't touch grass, they're not good at being charismatic. But if you think of like a real sport, it's like there's enough money to get like media training, there's enough money
Right.
for these people to have like a dietitian and a stylist and people who are kind of helping them with their brand image, right? And it's like sometimes that makes certain things sanitized, but personalities rise to the top, right? Like, and players, and accordingly, they know how to give interviews. So again, to the point of like player comms, you kind of have to start doing things that are gonna make some people uncomfortable, but it's like well, this is your job. Like, your part of your job is that
Yeah.
when you're on the comms, don't fucking swear, don't drop any slurs, and like if you can't do that, you can't be a pro player, right? Like it's gonna improve the ecosystem, but it might make you uncomfortable and tough shit, because we need the ecosystem to be more important than you, the individual who's afraid of
Yeah.
talking to women, right? Like that's. So it's like, in a vacuum, if they could pump more money and like guarantee enough wages and whatnot, and like money to the orgs to say, okay, well, we need to get our players media training and need to get like a brand built so that they're like charismatic on screen and like and engaging the crowd and whipping up the crowd, that would be awesome. That would create the kind of spectacle that we're talking about. But of course, unless NetEase are willing to just burn their pockets for like the long term and say we're gonna just pump money in artificially. This is where the Saudi esports money is like potentially valuable, because it's like there's no intention on getting a return from money. It's just for another purpose. That could be one way, but it's not necessarily a realistic way.
Yeah,
I
and I
think,
don't see any of that happening unless they franchise, which they've said they're not going to do. So
I think this year is just testing the waters for a lot of things. I think they want to see, how popular it could be. Is there any potential? A lot of orgs want to see if there's any potential. A lot of like everyone wants to see, is this gonna work? Is this not gonna work before they pump in real money, right? So I think this
That's
year
true.
will be very vital for the longevity of the esports. And I think honestly, honest to God, I think watching high level gameplay is kind of fun. I like the matches. I like the final was really fun. There's a lot of nuances, and I do want to see it succeed because I think we just scratched the surface, and I think you're gonna see some actual terrorists and some characters in a year or two. I think you're gonna have like some Spider-Man player running around insta killing everyone because he figured out animation cancel that allows you to insta kill a human being across the map. Like I don't fucking know. Like he's gonna zoom in and you're gonna be dead. And honestly, I'm all down for that. I want to see some crazy stuff.
Flats, anything to add on the pro play?
I just think it's common sense to like at this point it's like it's an entertainment thing, like you can be the most insane gamer on the planet and that's good, but if the league itself doesn't have a reason to exist, it doesn't matter how good you are at a game that doesn't have a pro scene, like you're saying Overwatch like, is drastically better to watch these days, but I mean, I don't know if it's changed. I don't think it's changed, but I think it was well known for a long time that if you were a pro player in Overwatch, you made about half a loaf of bread a month. So, like, if that's the fate you want to be,
that's way too much.
Yeah,
that's
succumb to as you get to be good at the game, but like, that's it. There's nothing else there. That's maybe like the best you got. But if it wants to be a big spectacle of an esport with an actual hardcore, large, dedicated fan base that cares, that's kind of what needs to be done.
Mic
And
drop.
And like I said, I think it is a general esports problem. Like esports is generally struggling to be profitable. Like that is largely true of most esports. And I do think this reckoning probably needs to happen if it wants to be mainstream. Like if they want to be a profitable business, there probably needs to be a, how do we make this entertaining, guys? Like not just from the game, but as a spectacle, how do we make it interesting? Whether we get there or not, who knows? Anything else any of you guys want to add on the esports side before we move on?
Let us make a skin bundle that allows us to invest into the prize pool. That would be funny. Like one tournament, maybe like next year.
I think 3 million is a good
No, I know. Creator codes.
Okay, sure.
That's like the Pied Piper flute to Flats. You're just trying to play it. You're just like, Flats, what about creator codes?
Rixie typed it in my chat, and I was like, okay, I gotta read that. Rixie was writing in.
That's how you paid shield for yourself. Paid
Real
shield for myself.
A Sentinels bundle would be so sick. They said they maybe want to do that. Maybe.
Bundles.
Maybe like a $200 skin that like, first for everyone's favorite character, a la League of Legends. Just do it. I mean, to be fair, it would be on brand. Okay, well, I think we've covered most of the major topics, and I'm also conscious I'm not going to take forever of your guys' time. So we'll head towards the concluding section. So as we do, we'll try and look to the future. And so I'm going to ask each of you to tell me what is the major thing you want Marvel Rivals to work on. Like, what is the thing that you're like, okay, the state of Marvel Rivals will be improved most by them doing this. So I'll go with the lowest rating first, which was Boger, who started at, was it 6.5/7 that you gave it, Boger? So therefore,
that's my current enjoyment for the game. Like, I just don't want to play ranked right now. I know.
So what would make you happy? What is it that you think most needs to be worked on?
More tanks and supports. Just release those. That will be important. But again, it's a little bit difficult topic. And I also think I give us more custom game options. I think that will be fun.
Ooh,
because
Ooh,
you can
yeah.
actually like as a creator you can actually farm some content off of that and like test stuff. Like testing stuff in this game is so hard half the time because you need like I need like 50 million moving pieces to replicate one like moment in the game. And I would like to be able to do that easier without having to like wait for my cooldowns or farm my ultimates in a custom game lobby. That's not practice range because you can't always do everything in practice range. Or you can also farm content where you can be like 1 versus 10 or like just give us more options for custom game. It's gonna fill in the gaps when there's nothing happening or people are bored. So I think that'll be fun.
That's reasonable. Sounds good. And Aramori was agreeing a lot. So I think Aramori was maybe no, actually Aramori was the highest. So we'll go to Flats next. I think Aramori was 8.5. Flats, you were kind of 7.5, I think. 7.5. Where does the room to grow come? Where is it going to improve?
That's actually a really hard question. This I hate to give such a shit answer, but it's gonna be my answer anyways. I hope they can figure out a way to understand why the sentiment of this game has shifted as much as it has and as quickly as it has. So, I mean, the game does do a lot of the things that everyone asks it to do, right? Like listen to community feedback, implementing those things, right? Like there's cool little things that like grab like, you know, like the Jeff haircut with Blade, right? Like they grab like little community memes, they put them in the game. Other games like beg for those things. And it's actually very funny because, you know, looking at Overwatch recently, a lot of people have been very, very happy with Overwatch, which is good for them. But it in a lot of ways it feels like Overwatch has caught up to Rivals, not surpassed it in terms of like doing things, right? But it feels like surpassing to the people because they've never experienced anything else, right? Like they've never, like they're getting more now than they ever did before. Meanwhile, Rivals is getting more and it gets as much as it can at the moment, and if not, it's still finding ways to squeeze out more, but yet it's not enough. So how do you change that? How do you change people's perspective? How do you change the tides of fate that seem that have started to start against Rivals? Like I don't want to like say like the oh Rivals is dying. It has definitely declined significantly from where it was. And there was a huge flood of people saying like, "Oh, Rivals is dead or it's dying," and like people still spam that. Like when I stream on TikTok, you always get a couple people like, "Oh, people still play this game," and it almost is like reminiscent of Overwatch in some ways. But meanwhile, it still does have a pretty healthy player count. But I would think the thing that I would argue is even scarier about Rivals than its rival Overwatch is why doesn't it have a player base in China? Why does it not have a player base in Korea? Is it because it's not viewed as a skillful game? Well, Rivals is also marketed itself as a casual player game, yet where are all those casuals? Are they still playing, or do they have data that says like most people that still play it right now are the people that play it a lot, right? Like do they play it quite often, or is it still made up by those people that only pop in once a week or once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks? You know, what is their even definition of a casual player? Taking all these things to account, are they going to change their strategy going forward, understanding that maybe the casual player is gone? Is the casual player from Rivals already gone? And if it is, what do you do? Like, is the base that's playing right now actually not considered casual? Is it playing more? Like, these are all such complex topics that like none of us could answer because we don't have the data. We never could. So it's like, you know, what do you really do? And it's funny, I look over a chat and someone says, all this controversy, Rivals is going to be fine. That's actually the most dangerous thing of all. It's almost like whataboutism, but in reverse, where it's like, if you don't agree with me, just shut up. And I think that's even more dangerous of like people just saying like, oh, just shut up, like don't say anything. And it's like, I think it is an important question to think about because what has caused it and what is the solution to it? And is there even one? I don't know. I'm actually not sure. We'll have to see. I think it's leveled out. I think it's in a spot like it's not going to decline. It's not going to really go anywhere from here. But I do think it's very interesting to watch how angry the player base is with each other, how angry the gamers are in the game, how angry they are at EOMM, how angry they are at balance. Meanwhile, what is there to look forward to? You have everything. You're getting a hero every month, new modes, new maps. Balance is consistently coming out at least once every 2 weeks to a month. Where do you go from here? What more do you want? Like, if you're unhappy having the world, what more can the world give you? Don't know.
Damn, Flats, you're gonna go deep, you're gonna go philosophical on us. You're gonna be like, what can man do to reach the higher heights as all of Earth has been granted to us? As all of our rivals has been given to us, what more can we reach for? It's a scary question. Aramori, do you have an answer? Oh, Boger has an answer.
I was gonna say, like, people are greedy. You're gonna keep giving people stuff. They're gonna keep complaining they don't have enough stuff. Like in the sense that, like I don't
Greedy.
think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can actually satisfy them ever.
Do you-
Because they. Mhm.
Do you think, Boger and everyone else, that it's like a glass ceiling of the genre?
What glass ceiling of the genre?
Like
What do you mean?
it's dying down, let's say, because at the end of the day, the hero shooter genre will never be able to peak
Yeah,
at the same level
can't.
as a CS, as
Yeah,
a
you can't.
MOBA.
You're
because
spitting
CS
now.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
agree completely. I think MOBAs have been around for so long; they're ingrained in people by now, like League and Dota. Because I think if MOBAs came out today, they wouldn't be popular.
Oh, for sure.
I think hero shooters are just in the middle, and like CS and like Valorant to an extent is more complicated. But CS just you can give anyone CS and say point at head, click. That's the basic, and that's it. And you
We-
understand. You watch it, you get what it like. I will show it to my grandparents, and they'll understand. Oh, kill person, I get it, right? But with rivals, there's so many like moving pieces, and Overwatch as well, right? Hero shooters, that's just the nature of hero shooters. Like I agree, like I think you just in a weird middle position. You're not as complicated as a MOBA, but you're not as like simple to understand as a tactical shooter.
Yeah, and I think it's like there's a first mover advantage, as you're kind of alluding to, Burger, where it's like, imagine if you tried to like build a real sport now to compete with like football or American football, or even like a tennis. Like if you just invented a sport and you were like, let's try and create a huge fan base for it, like it'd be hard because people
Yeah.
have a thing they already like their space is already occupied somewhere else, and like even if they like the idea of your new thing, they have a history with the other thing, and they kind of
Yeah.
already have a behavior pattern set up where they're like, I'm comfortable with this thing, I go back to this thing a lot, and in the
Stop
cultural
going back to your
zeitgeist.
ex, please.
Armor,
but
you
she'll be
slept with
better.
Overwatch. You slept
be
with Overwatch
better.
in China, bro.
I didn't play. I didn't play. I was just in the chair.
Only
It's
once,
okay.
just once. I was
It was
watching.
it was only
was-
third base. It doesn't count. It doesn't
Commit
count.
to neither of them. That's it. Be casual with both.
Exactly, yeah. No, I think hero shooters are very inherently just really casual. No, like I think the pro scene is good and it's fun, but like it's so hard to like get into as a casual player. I think it's just like hero shooters, like it's all about the hero. I like being that person, and like it's an extension of yourself, and you express yourself to the hero, like the Mercy community or the Spider-Man community or whatever. And it's just like so inherent of the like all like the core of the game to be sitting there and like dedicating yourself to that one character. I think everything else kind of secondary. Like game is fun. The game is fun to play, but like again, like it's just so hard to actually make a viable, watchable esports because, as I mentioned before, MOBAs have been here since before many of these guys were born that are watching us right now. And like, we just like it's like I don't know, it's like chess at this point. Like, oh, it's a MOBA, I get it, whatever, I get the basics, right? But hero shooters, they're like again, how do you explain a hero shooter to somebody who doesn't play them? Like, have you had a conversation with somebody who doesn't play games often? And they're like, "What game do you stream?" I play Rivals. What is it? A hero shooter. And they're like, "What the fuck is that?" Right? I can say League, and they will know. I can say CS. They know what those things are. But hero shooters, what the fuck is a hero shooter? Right? It's just really hard.
Yeah, we're definitely in like the infancy of hero shooters, right? Like TF was like, I don't know, it was successful, but I don't think it was ever mainstream. And then Overwatch was the first.
No, it was, but never competitively.
TF2?
Never competitively mainstream, because there was
Mm.
never a ranked mode in TF2 until the game started like falling
Yeah.
out.
Well,
It was
I'm
always
talking
a casual game.
like Overwatch is like I think the first game that was like mainstream. Like you could go to somebody
Okay.
random and be like,
Listen, I can rant about this, but Team Fortress 2 was fucking that game was like that game revolutionized a lot of concepts. Like it wasn't mainstream
Oh,
like
for
COD or
sure.
something, but like it did set the path, like it created the path for a lot of things. It wasn't like COD, of course. It wasn't like I think TF2 walked so Overwatch can run, and then rivals can
100%.
fucking fly to the stratosphere for a while and then like crash. But yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
When Boger's really moved, he turns into a stand-up comedian. He's like, "All right, so what's up with the weather these days, guys? Anyone seen this shit?" He just gets up. He wants to pull his mic out and start walking around this.
Bro
I
has
do wanna-
ADHD. Leave him
I just want to
alone.
be. That was my favorite. Like one time, I was just holding like a plushie, and somebody's like, "Oh my god, Booger has ADHD. It's so obvious." Like, shut the fuck up, Jesus Christ! I'm just holding the damn plushie.
Aramori,
No,
let's take it to you. You can either choose to respond to the initial question of just like where do you see the improvement or Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, or you can respond to this other topic that we've gone on, which is just like the glass ceiling of hero shooters and whether anything can be done about it.
I'm gonna do secret third option because I've been holding on to this point since Flats talked
Let's
about it
go.
about 15 minutes ago, of why it's not popular in Korea and China. So I actually got to talk with a lot of the Korean players while we were at in Guangzhou, and something one of them said is that Korean players or gamers, I guess, just don't like the kind of games that are super macro based. They like very like flashy, like self carry, like think of like Widowmaker or Tracer or something, right? Where you can take control of the game and it's in your hands if you make like a crazy play and kill like 3 people. That in Rivals, it doesn't really exist outside of the realm of Ultimate. So everything is very like macro based, right? And they don't like that. They really want to be able to just like play the hero that shoots a gun and kill people, and that's not really a thing, right? We don't have a Widowmaker. We have Black Widow, but you know what I mean. We don't have a Widowmaker. So yeah, that's why it's not popular. They think it's too team based, too team oriented, and I think that's the exact reason why we like it. Why we as Westerners like it. So we're like, oh, cool, goats, woohoo! This
That-
is so fun.
That's a really interesting insight, Aramori, because just like obviously we shouldn't extrapolate from one data point, but like if you apply what you've just said of like they enjoy the micro games and you apply that to the games that have been historically popular in Korea, if you compare League to Dota, League is much more micro intensive than Dota intensive than macro intensive than Dota is, right? Dota is all about like team strategy and like there's a lot more like planning, whereas League is like every character is a footsie battle. Every character is like throwing a certain thing in a certain spot and you have to like dodge and juke this thing. And again, StarCraft 2, perhaps in StarCraft is the franchise, the most successful game in Korea of all time, is like all micro. Like, can I manage like my APM? I need 300 APM if I'm going to win this game. I need to be doing 5 screens, blah, 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 blah. So it's a very interesting insight and does check out anecdotally. But yeah, any sort of third thoughts from Boger and Flats on that particular bombshell that Armory drops on us?
I think also the game doesn't run well on PC banks. I think I've mentioned before, but I think that's
Yeah.
also a big reason. Yeah, you can go ahead, Flats. Just wanted to mention it.
No, I agree. I think its performance is definitely not great. And like, I know they've said they've made a bunch of improvements, but am I crazy for saying I don't really feel them?
Oh my god, the game is like so much recently. I like people are teleporting. I don't know if I'm
Yeah, that's
tweaking
like
from playing
server
too
though.
much. No, I know,
Yeah.
of course, but it's like it doesn't show. Like I don't have high ping or anything, but it's happening so often. It's actually making me
Yep.
tweak. Like I'm going on an Ultron, I'm diving him, and he's gone. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did he go?
Yeah, I have a theory now that the player count has gone down. They've like done something different with the servers to like save money, but conspiracy theory. I don't know.
Now, what are you gonna say next? EOMM is real.
Maybe.
I don't know. Did the check clear?
Let me check.
Let me open up my PayPal real quick. So Aramori, your where is your improvement? Where do you want to see Marvel Rivals shape up?
I don't know. The custom game thing I think is actually something that I wasn't originally thinking of, and I think that's a really good idea. I need to be able to, you know, after losing 5 games in range, just go into custom games and play 1 man versus 10 Reinhardts. What was it? 1 giant Reinhardt versus one daddy
Yeah,
tour
yeah,
versus
yeah.
10.
Wasn't
Yeah,
one
you know what I'm
father
talking
versus
about.
10, yeah.
chill,
Yeah.
10 children.
Yeah. I need to be able to have that outlet, and I think there's a lot of like creativity that came with that. And Overwatch has like a community of people that are just custom game Andes. That's all they do. They just log on and they go into their 18 plus lobby and they chill all day. That's what they do. I feel like we're just kind of missing that. I feel like that's a huge part of Overwatch's like casual community. Seriously.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So having more of that would be really nice. And then again, like what Boger said, it would be really nice to be able to like test stuff. Like it's really hard to test a lot of the damage boost stuff in practice range because you can't damage boost somebody in a custom game and then you're all on like enemy teams. It's just really hard to test. So having a way to actually implement that would be really, really nice. It's a pain in the ass. You have to actually go into like real custom game and like
And
wait out the
farm
whole
modes,
timer
yep,
and farm
yep.
modes. Yes, it's so annoying. So having a way to like actually test stuff would be really, really great. But outside of that, I don't really have too many concerns. Like a new support would be nice, but I'm chilling. Like having like playing
Oh,
Luna and
you're
Loki
chilling.
to the
50 more DPS characters this year.
and
Next
they're all
season.
like BP and they make you
Yes.
vanish. Woohoo!
Yes.
Great. Yeah, I don't know. I, I don't really have that much to complain about. I did give the highest rating. I feel like I don't have the best point of view because I again I scrim and that changes the game a lot and that's most of my day to day. So I feel like you guys definitely give like a better accurate representation of what needs to change and what you'd like to see. So I don't have too much to complain about really.
Don't feel bad because you don't have complaints, Armory. This is just the Overwatch in us. We need shit to complain about. We need to be like, yeah, but I ain't happy, bro. Happiness isn't in my vocabulary. Okay, well, is there anything else you guys want to bring up that we haven't brought up in the course of this call? Any unexpressed sentiment? Any
How
more
was your day,
bombshells you're
guys?
holding on to?
How was your day?
Let's chill.
Pretty good. Chill.
How's yours, Flats?
Disastrous.
Awful now.
He's like 50 million things. He's like water stopped, camera keeps breaking, crystal problems, fucking internet dying. Somebody
well-
stole my car, broke my
Do you
window.
like your house? Do you like the house?
I mean, yeah, it's nice. The only thing for me is internet. Internet's been such a pain in the ass here. Like trying to get sorted out. Like, I mean, obviously I have it working right now, but I'm trying to get better internet, which is available, but the area is at capacity for Verizon, which is what I was trying to get, and so I'm just in limbo trying to see if I can make that happen. But that's like the
I didn't know
most
that was a
annoying
thing
thing.
that could happen.
Neither did I. Didn't know that was a thing.
In the
That
last
sucks.
call, Flats, there was thunder threatening to tear your house down. So I don't know if this
Oh
is an
yeah, I forgot about
improvement
that.
or
It stopped
or,
right when this podcast ended. By the way, it was gone. Classic.
paid actor from Plat Chat.
Camera's a
They, like,
paid
downfall
actor
of,
today. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You know, can I, Boger, to your question, can I be like a tiny bit real? I'm actually really happy to talk to you again. It's been nice.
Oh. Yes,
and you
it's nice.
and you as well, Aramori. Like I haven't talked to you in a while, but I used to get a lot of huge fix of Boger.
Yeah,
And
boring.
I
I've
haven't
been
recently.
so busy.
Now Boger's a fucking
my
business
God.
now. He's not a
I am
businessman. He's a
I'm
businessman.
now. It's so rough. I'm losing my mind. Just going
Welcome.
to China.
Welcome.
Going to China and watch partying 10 hours a day, sleeping 5 hours a
Yeah, that was
night, and then
insane.
oh my fucking god!
I'm
and
so
then
glad
I
I
came
stayed
back.
home.
It's
So
been so fucking. And now I'm leaving again. I'm leaving tomorrow again. I'm going to Gamescom.
Flats is
Ooh,
a true
that'll be
gamer
fun,
because he
though.
does not want to leave. Even if his house is
Oh.
just cardboard boxes, he's like, I ain't going nowhere, bro. I ain't going nowhere.
I still gotta go to the furniture
Yeah.
store to get this room stuff. I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. Sorry, SVB. It's been.
It's all good. I don't nag you because I'm proud of you and I'm happy you're doing
Thank
so
you.
well.
Thank you.
That's why
Thank you.
I
Trying
don't
my
take it
best.
personal. I don't take
Trying
it
my best.
personal. I know that's my homie. I know that's my homie.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Gotta
Flats,
go back
I mean,
to weather spoons. No, Flats, fuck you. You know what? SVB doesn't
No,
like
I
you
spoke to
anymore.
Flats. I spoke to
What
Flats
the
on
fuck?
Thursday, and actually, Flats and I are like actually, I'd like to think Flats we're in good touch. Like we kind of talk whenever
Yeah.
we can. So I got in a good Flats dose. I still feel like in connection. So yeah, I actually I miss the homies the most of making Overwatch content or just content. I miss the homies. So
You talk
it's nice to
anyone
talk-
else from Overwatch?
No,
That's
like
it.
that's the thing.
Wow.
I've lost so
I'm
much
so
contact.
honored.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've lost so much contact with people because like people are busy, content creators are busy. I get it. You know, like when you're not actively collaborating, people just be doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So it's sad. It's sad. I kind of yeah, and I don't get invited to the BlizzCons no more. The
I mean,
creator summits no more. So
There's
don't
no
get to meet the homie.
BlizzCons.
it's true.
there's a BlizzCon
Oh.
next year now.
Next year,
Really?
yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I think there's a next year BlizzCon. Yeah, I'll probably go.
Well, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully we get to see.
If you get
see
invited,
everybody there.
fucking NetEase show. What the fuck? You think you're going?
Listen, I'll go as a spy. I'll be like, I'll go to our interns. Like, what are you guys working on?
They already know you're a spy, dude. They're gonna be waiting at the door. They're gonna get kidnapped, fucking thrown in the back of a
Ni
van.
hao ma. Ni hao.
That's so brilliant.
W my rivals L Aaron Keller. Just-
W Guang Guang, W Guang Guang, W NetEase, W China, L Blizzard, L Aaron Keller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got
I
clipped.
ain't getting invited anywhere.
I think for our Rivals podcast, it couldn't have been a better end. They will very happily send the checks now. So
That's
on
true.
that note, I'm gonna thank my friends Boger, Flats, and Aramori. Thank you guys so much for joining me and giving me so much of your precious time and your insights. I appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, go show these guys some love. Thank you very much, guys. Anything else you want to say before I let you get going?
Stay silly.
W Guang
Basically.
Guang.
W Guang
Check
Guang.
better be in the mail.
Cash them checks, bro. All right, have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace out.
All right, take
Bye.
care. Thank you.
Later.
Bye. Bye.